Yo, what's going on, you all? How's everybody doing today? Hope all of you have been having a good day for the most part. Ooh, hold on 1 second. Let me get my camera on. Boop, boop, boop. And there we go. Now, that's much better. How's everybody doing? I've been having a good day. So happy to be here at the weekend. Hope some of you have some decent weekend plans. Let's go ahead and get this bad boy started up. Oh, you know what? Let me get my ping, get my chat up first. Gunshoe, what's going on, man? Cole, what's up? Must be on the West Coast? Nah, I'm in the Midwest, but I'm starting a little bit late today. James, what's going on? I'm here. I'm starting up. Darmo, what's up, dude? Furious background typing. Great job about you. I cannot complain at all. Three, what's good, man? Lori, what's up? Good evening, sir. Last couple of hours of work for the day. Nice. So your weekend is almost started as well. All good with you, Cole? Fantastic. Get into another U.S. game. Wizard or Wolf? I don't know. Tell me more about the mechanics. Then I'll be able to tell you more about which one I think is best. But yeah, my day was relatively good. I can't complain. I mentioned in my ping about this. I found a box of my 20-year-old plus cards from when I used to do card gaming in college. So big box of Yu-Gi-Oh cards and big box of Magic the Gathering. So I've been going through all of them and pulling out all the ones that have like the glossy finish on them, so that those are the ones, my understanding at least, that you know like are rare. So I've got a stack of all the ones that have the glossy finish, and then I'm going to be looking online to see if any of these are worth something. I don't have high hopes, but it is kind of cool that I don't want to accidentally give my daughter a card that turns out to be worth like $500,000 or something like that. Sloan, what's going on? I had a good day. I got no complaints whatsoever. Yeah, I agree, Khonshu. There's some times when I think about getting back in Magic the Gathering, but then I'm like, this is almost like MMO status. I could end up pulling myself into something that's going to just pull me down again. Rare, the green orange rarity ones. Yeah, that's what I kind of figured. I don't think I have too many of them. I never could be bothered to remember the rules for MTG. I had the patience when I was a kid. I don't know if I never played like tournament style, so I don't really know if I was a good player, but I used to beat the crap out of my friends at school. Wizard has a sanctum. Oh, eBay them? Yeah, I might do that, Cole. We'll see. Wizard has a sanctum that allows you to do whatever the crap you want to. Literally, the DM can't tell you no. Oh, wow. The DM may set a bunch of limits you have to get past first, such as needing an ingredient, something like that. But what does Wolf have you do? All right, so in the last game, I think we pretty much are considered to be past Act 1. Or maybe, if not, after we finish this, we'll be past Act 1. And then it'll be time to get to Act 2 of the game. We unlocked our first Spire, and we actually have an upgrade working on that. Yeah, so now our smithy is back. So we're gonna, as soon as we get done here, we're gonna head straight back because I need to upgrade versus weapons and see about doing a couple and selling my stuff so that I can hopefully get the guy who allows us to respec our abilities. So, but first we're gonna do what is here. Elric, what's going on, man? Can't complain at all. Hope you're having a good day. Damas, what's up? Been trying to play Tyranny myself, but even my card that I bought to handle Cyberpunk can't handle it. What? No way. Tyranny shouldn't be causing havoc on your machine at all. At all. The massive frame rate issues. Wow. No, I never had frame rate issues with Tyranny. That's kind of wild. Do you plan to play Broken Rose, Damas? Aren't you? I seem to remember you telling me you're Australian. I might be misremembering that. But I swear I thought you said you were Australian. And I think Broken Rose is based in Australia, right? So Do you think that game's going to be up your alley? Had a great time. Imagine that running a green black deck. Then the guy's shop said I had to make a new one because the season changed, and I realized I had to bail. I understand completely. Boss page, what's going on? The wolf is a werewolf. Werewolf. I don't even need to read the rest. Werewolf. You know I'm all about werewolf. Hensler. I haven't seen you in a minute, man. Hope you're doing all right. Time to tap my planes. Play my blue eyes white dragon. Give it an action token. To run and show the wave pulse. And take your last promise for gang. Nice. Nice. How is Fighter and Pillars of Eternity 2? I was looking at it. I just want a solid melee class. If Fighter looks like that. Fighter is great, but Eder is a fighter. And in fact, you can make him a fighter rogue, multi-class, which in my opinion is superior to fighter. So instead, I would suggest you go with Paladin. You could go with Paladin, or Druids are shapeshifters. So you can shapeshift into an animal that's a very powerful melee combatant. That's another way to do it. Although you do get a party member who can shapeshift into a hammerhead shark. You cannot shapeshift into a hammerhead shark. So, you know, I don't know how you feel about that, but that's the route that I would go. That's 5 different games. Yeah, Tyranny caused issue with my PC as well. Really? That's fascinating. Yeah, we're looking forward to Broken Rolls. That's awesome. I hadn't even really been covering or thinking about that game at all, but I just found out, I think maybe last stream, that it's coming out next week. So I'm definitely planning to play it. Yeah, Boss Page. I came across a large box of a huge amount of the 20 plus year old cards that I have from Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic the Gathering. So I've been going through them trying to find out if I have any rare ones or ones that might be worth a little bit of money. I had a glitch on Tyranny this morning. It took me 68 years to go from Spire to Lethian's Crossing. Really? Oh, wow, that's crazy. Big Werewolf fan too. Werewolf 3 all the way. Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh! Hero Clicks. Don't know about Hero Clicks or Legend of Five Rings, but I know about Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh! And Checkers for sure. Cole, appreciate it, man. Yeah, definitely. If you're enjoying the stream, I'd appreciate you all hitting the like button. Really helps to support the channel. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. We're going to keep doing content like this for sure. Want to ask you, you think I could enjoy Pillars of Eternity 2 even though I didn't play the first one for more than 10 hours? Yep. They're different enough games. Pillars of Eternity 2 is a significant upgrade in production values. Exploration is a lot more fun than it is in the first game. Just a whole lot of things are refined. I personally like the first one a little bit more, but that's because more so of story and tone. I think Deadfire is an incredible game, and you don't need to play the first one to enjoy that one. If you want more information, I did release a review for Deadfire today, so you can check that out as well, and that'll give you more information. Frosty, what's going on? Thought your Pillars of 22 video was good. That game really has gone from craft singles to a fine age cheddar with age. Yep. Yeah, people were kind of down on it when it first came out, but they patched it until it got to the point people liked it more. Ranger could do melee as well. Oh, that's right. Yep, I didn't play around Ranger all that much, but yep, it has that capability. But in my life, thought of a were-shark. That's badass. Yeah. It was and I don't think they really announced it beforehand, so it was a huge shock when you found out you got a party member who was like that. It's pretty cool. From New Zealand, but I don't think Broken Roads is coming to Xbox. I'm pretty sure Broken Roads is coming to all platforms, but I could be wrong about that. I think it is an engine issue. Deadfire used to be fine, but it lags to hell when I launch it now. Wow, that's interesting. Ooh, a tainted werewolf? Ooh, that sounds fun. It's going to be a fighter paladin tank. Oh, could still be valuable. Yeah, it's Eder, but with 1D instead of 2. I think I would have missed a lot of the context and story in Deadfire if I hadn't played the first one, though. What's going on, JV? You do miss a lot of story and context, but some of it they make up for in the actual Deadfire game anyway. So it's not like you're lost. Playing Magic cards that are worth a lot. Yep. So I'm going through Yu-Gi-Oh cards right now, and this is the stack I have of all the ones that have like the glossy finish on them. And some of them, I know someone was just saying that like the glossy finish is not enough, and so I know like this is the one with like glossy finish and like gold writing. So I'll have to look at these and then compare it online and see if any of them are actually worth something. I don't have really high hopes. Dark Necrofear, I have no idea whether or not any of these cards are actually any good, but we'll see. We'll see. I'll definitely be going through them. Yeah, watch the review. That's why I didn't find one terribly interesting. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I recommend give Deadfire a try out. You don't need to find the first one
You
interesting
got
to
it.
enjoy it. Okay, we are now in Tunon's Court. This is actually one of my favorite parts in the entire game. It's super, super, super cool, giving you more insight into the Tyranny world and to how its laws work. Lady Lucretia, I don't think we met her before. Who was she a part of? Oh, she's part of the Bastard City. This well dressed older woman stands apart from the milling crowds of nobles. She stares off into the distance, oblivious to your approach until you're right in front of her. Oh, greetings, she offers a reserved smile. And the Lucretius, formerly of Thistleholm. You have the look of someone who belongs here. A fate binder, no doubt? She nods. Do you need something from me? What are all of these nobles doing in Tunon's Court? She smirks and shakes her head. Trying to look brave, I warned. But if you crane an ear to any of their conversations, you'll hear a different tale. 3 years since Tunon set up shop in the Bastard City, we're still getting used to our new masters and figuring out what we can and can't ask of them. She nods to the assembled nobles. These are smart, ring-plenty folk. The way they approach Tunon, you'd think they were raised under a tyrant's lash. Some have come to settle a grievance, others to pledge fealty. I've been standing around long enough to know that the adjudicator doesn't care for empty gestures. How has the Bastard City fared since the conquest? The armies claimed the city and acquired a more organized manner than I might have expected. I could credit them that much, to be sure. The outlying villages and farms are a little sparse, what with the Scarlet Corps harvesting for new soldiers. Tunon has done a fair job of managing food shortages. Thanks to Corps infiltrators, most of our officials were put to the sword before we surrendered. The chaos made the takeover easy for Kairos' forces, but controlling the city without any leaders to bend the knee was harder work. We suffered our share of hardships, but it seems that Kairos wants us alive. That's a more generous outcome than some of us were led to believe. What brings a noble like yourself to Tunon's Court? A frown cracks her pleasant demeanor. Like the rest of the frightened inbreds here, I came to see Tunon and ask him to right a wrong. My manor was destroyed during the conquest. I told the adjudicator my woes, but we didn't exactly see eye to eye. Tell me of yourself. I'm the daughter of a noble house. We were wealthy enough to live in the city, but our means beyond that were limited. My mother dealt in fish, textiles, and bronze. By the time I inherited, the business was taking care of itself. She sighs. Of course, all of that has changed. Thistleholm is no more, and my name is none of its former weight. Even if we were still in business, Kairos laws will still stifle our trading rights. Perhaps it's better this way. What is Thistleholm? A great sigh deflates her. It was my family's ancestral hall. The oldest stones dated back to the years when the Bastard City was naught but a dozen roofs and wagons clustering for warmth. Compared to the House of the Great Lords, it was nothing special. Age had softened the wood, and its queer placement in the warehouse district set it apart from the finer grounds where lords and ladies strolled for amusement. It was a mess, but our mess all the same. I would invite you over for tea, something stronger even, but it would only disappoint. You'll find naught there but a gaping hole. Oh, well. My showcase card with Wyatt Arts are worth more usually. Nice. Okay. For MTG, go for gold orange rarity. Foiled will just double triple the price. Okay. Interesting. Awesome. Now, how harsh is the Paladin tenants in Pillars of Eternity 2? Is it like BG3 where I could do something small and all my things will be gone? No, it's not clear cut like that, but you do have to watch for it. My first Pillar of Eternity 2 was a Paladin at Cypher Multiclass. Big weapon strikes and healing everybody at the same time. Yeah, I think if I end up doing a Pillars playthrough again at some point, I'll either be a Paladin or I'm going to be a Chanter. The old Yu-Gi-Oh cards are not worth much, sadly. Got you. I have super old cards. I gifted super rare Pokemon cards to my sister as a wedding gift. She threw them away, told me to my face, "What? Yo, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that. I am sorry to hear that. Yeah, I'm not expecting much from the Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I'm hoping maybe some of the Magic the Gathering cards I have are also like 20 plus years old. I'm hoping some of them, a couple of them might be worth something. We'll see. Um, you get defensive buffs, you play along with it, and debuffs if you don't. Yep, that's exactly the way it works. What type of game is Broken Roads? Isometric, CRPG, or, it's coming out on all consoles, but it has that CRPG feel. It definitely feels like an Infinity Engine game. It's very narrative driven. My understanding there used to be a demo available on Steam. I don't think there is anymore, and I never played it. But from looking at the footage, it seems very narrative driven, very much so about talking with people, getting different quests, and building up your reputation. All this kind of stuff that I like. They said only like half of it, I guess, is voice acted, so it's perfect for me. We'll get a little bit of voice acting, but I'll also get some opportunities to voice act the characters. So we'll definitely try it out. I'll be live streaming on the channel, so you'll see it. Gifu, what's going on, man? How are you? Actia, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, after that, I never gave her any gift again. I'm sure. That's crazy disrespectful. Crazy disrespectful. I've been getting back to MTG a bit with MTG Arena. Nice. Haven't been played Paper Magic for about 5 years, though. Gotcha. Is MTG Arena like the online version? I'm streaming a lot of Tyranny recently. Are you getting burned out? Nope. I'm actually loving it. I'm enjoying Tyranny quite a bit. Play Yu-Gi-Oh! On and off from around Pharaoh Servant all the way to around Pendulum Mods came out. I boot up Master Duel when I'm feeling nostalgic. Nice, okay. What happened? Collateral damage happened. When the adjudicator cast his judgment on the Bastard City, he destroyed the districts of the corrupt merchant kings, their manors, their counting houses, and yes, their warehouses. Aged, dignified Thistleholm collapsed as a massive sinkhole opened under her foundation. The Bastard City's laws may not have been perfect by Kairos' standards, but my family followed them with respect and never took a copper ring more than we deserved. I can't help but feel that my estate was not the criminal Tunon had in mind during his sentencing. So what are you going to do next? That's the question, isn't it? I appealed to the adjudicator, thinking he would see reason. After considering my case for all of 8 seconds, he awarded me a belt of rings and a plot of land on the outskirts of the city. Tunon told me to build anew and start farming. Farming? Can you believe that? She shakes her head. It's not even that I'm opposed to labor, but we're in a war. I can't have the scarlet cords breathing down my neck, raiding my crops, and Kairos knows what else. Woo. Kairos' laws are made to serve the masses, not the individual. I can appreciate that, especially when there's suffering or corruption on a grand scale. It all makes sense on parchment, doesn't it? She glances to the left and right with unease. I came from a long line of smart, ring-savvy merchants, but even I can't reconcile Tunon's justice with Kairos' law. There's something wrong about it all. Maybe Tunon knows something I don't, or maybe... She trails off, shaking her head in doubt. What do you mean? People come here for justice. They usually get a version of it, but it's Tunon's version, not theirs. Half of the time, they don't even get what they wanted out of a ruling in their favor. She shakes her head. The deed to a farm, for instance. Not to put my own ignorance on display, but if more people knew how Kairos' laws worked, they might not come here seeking a ruling at all, even a fair one. Tunon is a servant of law, but he's the overlord's vassal as much as any of us. Sometimes it seems like he uses his position to twist everything in the Empire's favor. We're just pieces on a board, and he can move us wherever the law justifies that we stand. That doesn't sound, well, legal. Let's see. Kairos defines law. That isn't for either of us to question. She sighs. I suppose not. The Bastard City used to have the laws of woman and mankind, but now we have the laws of the Overlord. The people will get accustomed to it in time, and so will I. Joker wants Tunon on his side because he feels like this is going to help to ensure his power is solidified. He's already turned all the different groups against him, but he doesn't see Tunon. He sees Tunon as an individual, right? And a powerful one at that. And if he was able to bring him onto his side, a lot of people would feel like he was the true law and he was the lawful one, not Kairos. Good day, Fatebinder. All right, that was interesting. Could you tell me where we are? What do you mean? We're basically right after Act 1. So I just got my first fire, and now Tunon has called me to account for all the deeds that I did during Act 1. Wait, throwing away any trading card in broad daylight should be a 10-year mandatory minimum. So I just checked the trailer and I'm sold. The final text is the very few that holds my attention, and the awesome moral compass system looks awesome. Yep. So I actually just put out a poll on YouTube to ask from the 4 moral compass options, which one would you all want to see me follow for a live stream? So far, it seems like Machiavellian is the one you all like the most, but we'll see. Don't tell me what working night shift means. My social circle is mostly just coworkers and my mom. I understand. I used to work the night shift. I understand that completely. So anyone know how Kairos became so powerful? Was he born perfect? Did training become perfect? Or is he beyond human limitations? Kairos is a she, and I don't believe that backstory is provided. And you can find out later on that is intentional on Kairos' part. There we go. So JV remembers more of the story than I do, apparently. When I said where we are, I meant in physical space. Oh, the Bastard City. So one of the original areas you destroyed during the intro to this game. All right. Now, let's meet our friends.
You call yourselves officers of Kairos' army, but your conduct falls short of my expectations. The court finds your accounts of Vendrian's well lacking, rife with misdirection and fallacy, fouled with baseless accusation.
The shadows beneath Tunon's cloak darken and flare around him. Murmurs of unease erupt in the court. Listen. Your Honor, I have relayed the events as I experienced them. You can well imagine why my version conflicts with his. She makes a dismissive gesture to the Scarlet Corps representative. On my honor, and on that of the great general, I would sooner snap my sword than perjure myself before you, Archon. Oh, so you imply that falsehood comes easier to my lips than yours? You're a fool if you believe the Archon of Justice won't see through your lies because the disfavored think themselves better than an honest gang.
Silence. The contradictions in your statements will be examined, and falsities threshed from truths. If we find you have perjured yourselves, Blood and Mark will see to your fate.
The Archon turns, and you feel his gaze upon you.
Fatebinder, we will start with the matter of the Archons. Graven Ash and the Voices of Nerat have declared war upon each other. In addition to violating Kairos' peace, they have thrown the conquest of the Tears into disarray. By all accounts, these hostilities began shortly after your arrival. Tell us what transpired.
The Archons cannot agree on who should lead the siege and descended into accusations of treachery. It seemed a mutual spat. The disfavored were more deserving of the honor. Our tactics and training outmatched the Vendrian Guard at every turn. What balderdash! The disfavored couldn't tip over a straw, but if they had a week to strategize. Our howling mob was better equipped to overwhelm the Vendrian Guard. Our recruits were ready to throw themselves at the enemy. If only Ash and his legion would agree to the plan.
The Fatebinder presents testimony. I warn you both against speaking out of turn. Something more than a mere disagreement unraveled this campaign. But I will return to that in time. Let us speak of Ascension Hall. We have all manner of discordant and conflicting stories to piece together. In your own words, tell the court what transpired.
I took the Citadel and satisfied Kairos' command. To this end, are my means not justified?
What is best is always justified, but what is justified is not always best. We expect results, and in that regard, you have not entirely failed us.
Kind of want to reinstall Magic Arena. Tunon calls Kairos a sheep, but elaborates that Kairos is so powerful as to be beyond such physical classifications, and he gets mad at you for asking. Thank you for pointing that out. What's going on, Prodigal Dog? No, anybody planning to do some eclipse watching on Monday? There's supposed to be an eclipse on Monday? Oh, wow. Do you know if Broken Roads is class-based, or is it more like Wasteland 3? Nope, no clue. I know nothing about the upgrade path. I know that they have some things that you can select, but I don't know if there's specific classes. In fact, I don't think there are, but I think what they do have is origins. You have to choose between like 4 or 5 different origins at the beginning of the game, and I think that's what provides some segmentation as far as your build, because each of them start with their own buffs or debuffs or whatever. Nobody knows anything about Kairos. Okay. What's going on, Naked Snake? Yeah, Tunon's voice is amazing. I remember the first time I walked in here and heard his voice, I was like, whoa. He sounds so distinctive from anybody else you meet in the game. Tunon the boss. What's going on, Paul? How are you? Supply that Kairos came up on some source of power and then forbid everything that might lead everyone else to find it again. Okay. Why is the color changing? He's got some sort of mask or face thing that changes constantly as he's talking. I don't know if they ever explain how that mechanic works.
The court will ponder the testimonies we've received and judge the matter in its proper course. For the time being, you will continue to travel on your own accord and dispense justice to both sides of this civil war. If your presence is required here in court, we will find you. You are dismissed.
All right. Oh, there's some fate binders down here. I will not pretend to understand the strategic decisions you have made, but they are yours all the same. The fate binder of war claps you with excessive strength on the back, a greeting and a warning both. Even so, I am curious about your travels in the tiers. Come, let us speak freely. How were you singled out to become a fate binder? I cannot speak for the other fate binders, but I joined the court when I was yet still a boy, and impetuous beyond reason. I have been imprisoned with a death sentence for the crime of desecrating corpses. He laughs hard and hearty. It was nothing so exciting as you're no doubt imagining. I was merely burning corpses that awaited burial. Before the local authority could see me to the gallows, the adjudicator claimed me a great talent waiting to be realized, needing only to be steered. Why burn the bodies? Corpses piling in the streets spread plague faster than the filthiest of rats. I was but 10 and a weak fighter. I did what I could for my homeland. Why was it a crime? There was a time when even the Northmen were a suspicious stock, a time before Kairos brought reason to the realms. The people of my city believed that, without proper rites, I was cheating our fallen warriors from returning to the land. It's a good thing Tunon spared you. As I have said, the adjudicator saw within me something of rare value, as is true for us all. You as well were chosen for our great court, for which I am grateful. As the fate binder of war, I rely heavily on your talents. Let's talk about something else. By all means, you're free to pick my mind with enthusiasm. Ooh, I'm curious about Tunon's mask. There we go. They can be rather unsettling, can't they? Even a one such as me. But I can assure you, the innocent need not fear the objective, emotionless gaze. What of the adjudicator's mask specifically would you like to know? I want to know about the silent face. The silent face is the face that Tunon shows to us now, and for that we are fortunate beyond belief. The silent face is a patient face, a face for listening, as Tunon presides over all matters brought to the court, taking great pains to ensure all sides of an issue are heard. I want to know about the face of resolve. Tunon's last known donning of the face of resolve was the moment he judged and called ruin to half the districts in the bastard city. Since then, he has ruled our northern tier justly, calmly, and with efficient diplomacy. I want to know about the face that is no more. Tunon is said to have worn a third mask in aeons past. I have heard rumor that the face displeased Kairos and thus was destroyed, as happens to all persons and objects that displease our overlord. Have you ever seen Tunon change his mask in the way that you or I would change our raiment? No, not as such. And yet I have seen the mask shift. They switch without the adjudicator or anyone so much as laying a hand on them. It's not something you can watch unfold. After a time, you merely realize it has already happened. There is work enough for the court that we shouldn't occupy ourselves wondering over mysteries. Let me talk about something else. Well, you have garnered my attention. Could you remind me of the history and origin of the Fate Binders? The seasoned warrior rubs a finger against a line of stubble along his cheek. We are a relatively young order, though we have spawned the past 2 centuries. While the voices of Narad and Graven Ash need armies to execute their will, Tunon wields but a modest court of vassals. We exist as the extension of his law. There is no place in all of Taradas beyond our judgment. Tell me more about Kairos' armies, our allies. Ah, yes, with friends like these, our work is often self-explanatory. Were you asking about the Scarlet Chorus or the disfavored? The Scarlet Chorus. Scarlet Chorus soldiers hail from every corner of every realm. As the chorus marches, it conscripts indiscriminately from those it has conquered to replenish its ranks. There's no continuity of command in the chorus. Narad allows, encourages even, the strong to challenge their leaders. But the chorus has numbers, and brute force is almost always a viable solution, much as Rogalis insists otherwise. I assume Rogalis might be one of the other Fate Binders. Fury, what's going on? How are you, man? Looks very unique. I love Wasteland 3. Yeah, I'm a big Wasteland 3 fan as well. Looking forward to getting back to that game. I think that what looks like color changes his face, just the different angles he takes in his portrait, combined with the shallow wisps that constantly whirl around, sometimes passing over his face. That might be true. Might be true. Empire, what's going on, dude? Oh man, it's been a while since I last got to check into a stream, and I didn't realize we were doing a Tyranny playthrough. I love this game. That's awesome, Empire. You checked in at a good time. I like that out of that one time where it lets you steal some ring, the Oathbreaker origin hasn't had much effect on dialogue. Like, you can't defend Oathbreakers when people insult them. When it's Broken Rolls, it's April 10th. Well, what are we doing? I am doing Anarchy. So I've already betrayed both the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus. The eclipse has been described as once in a lifetime. Really? Okay, and it's supposed to happen on Monday? It seems like it's going through a large amount of the states, and that's why it is once in a lifetime. Nice, okay. If you get the opportunity, if you send some of the MTG cards onto the VIP chat, I can price check them for you, see if they have anything of value. Oh, okay, cool. So I actively play MTG and have for 10 plus years. Nice. Nice. That's awesome. Okay. I'm going through the Yu-Gi-Oh cards first, but when I get to MTG, I'll definitely ping you about it. So what do you use to determine whether or not an MTG card is valuable? Like, I understand from the Yu-Gi-Oh cards, the art has to be glossy and the text has to be a like a particular font. They've got to do something crazy with the text, and then sometimes the overall card could be glossy. That means it's even a more rare card. Is it pretty much the same for Magic the Gathering, or is it a little bit different? Love how Tyranny shows that evil people can still be friends with people. Tyranny has done evil fantastically. Exactly. I 100% agree. 100% agree. Find a price for Broken Rose. I didn't look at the price, so I honestly can't tell you, Frosty. All right. Besides, the Scarlet Chorus draws strength from the multitudes it swallows. Its blood chanters have taken knowledge from various tiers of mystics, and many of the course's best soldiers were grown here in the south. The disfavored. The disfavored are the iron tip of Kairos' great phalanx. Armed with the best weapons, the most comprehensive training, and led by the brilliant Graven Ash, the disfavored have no equals in open battle. The Legion has the same. Graven Ash protects, and it's no empty boast. The Archon of War is able to lend his will and strength to his soldiers and give them endurance beyond human limits. I have great respect for the disfavored, but I know where I stand with them. They are a very close-knit band, all of them from northern families, many of them related to each other. The novel sighs and smile wistful, but considering our role in the great hierarchy, I can't fault General Ash for being selective. All right, let me ask about something else. I've claimed to Spire at Vendrian's Well. So, the court whispers are true. The Fatebinder rubs his fingers along the underside of his... I wonder why saying that causes me to gain favor with Tunon. Maybe it's because I'm being truthful? I don't know. The Fatebinder rubs his fingers along the underside of his chin, pondering his thoughts with great weight. After a moment, he offers you a wistful sort of smile. Someday I would like to witness for myself this tower that has risen above realms like a blade thrust into the sky. I would hear of your past victories in the war or of recent events. Have you not yet tired of my tales, Joker? I do admit I never tire of telling them. He laughs, hearty and deep. Very well then, let me champion the feats of my conquest. Let the glory of Kairos' reign fall on any ears that would hear of it. Recently, I've taken to studying the prowess of the southern beastmen, particularly the wild tribes, and have reflected on their potential merit as allies. The Scarlet Chorus is wise to desire their strength, a strength I once faced and myself barely survived. The disfavor ought to consider arming them for battle rather than merely working them as slaves. Farewell. That was interesting. Greetings. Your exploits at Vendrin's Well are the topic of much discussion. One begins to question the intent behind your methods, Joker. I hope you are not wandering a path from which you cannot return. In spite of my reservations, I am most curious to hear of your travels. What can I do for you? Callio touches a gentle hand to your shoulder. Has anything happened while I was away? There have been whispers that Cairn grew disloyal to Graven Ash's command during the campaign in Azure. I took up the mantle of investigation near Plains Gate, and judging the rumors to be true, dispatched Cairn by proclaiming Kairos' Edict of Stone. The very earth turned against the traitorous Archon as the region split asunder in righteous judgment. You seem to know much of my actions. Have you been spying on me? Don't act so surprised. It's my duty to ensure that those who operate under the adjudicator's name adhere to the spirit of his law, if not the very letter. Of course, I've got nothing to hide. So you say, but I have to weigh all evidence presented before me with an objective eye. Assume you are being watched, Fatebinder, but don't concern yourself. That's no more than any citizen of the Empire can expect. How have you occupied your time in the Basher City? Tunon sends me on assignments here and there. I settle disputes between the locals when the adjudicator is otherwise occupied. She smirks. Everything from trade disagreements to pushing core squatters out of basements. Real rewarding work. Glossiers more. Showcase big artworks even more. Okay. There are some just regular cards worth hundreds of dollars. Play rate and rarity are king. Oh, really? Oh, wow. There are regular Magic the Gathering cards that are worth hundreds of dollars? That's kind of crazy. Can't even find Broken Roads as a pre-order choice on Xbox, so I think it's just going to drop like BG3. Yeah, just a shadow drop for those who care about to know when it comes. I don't know if I can even pre-order on Steam. I'll have to check that. The disfavored are that group of cousins down the street where you fight one, you fight the whole clan. That's 100% true. Tunon is probably happy you brought order to the chaos the Vendrian Guard started. Exactly. I should be good for right now. But he's not happy. But Kairos is not happy. Well, Tunon is happy about it, but he's probably worried about the Spire. So we'll see. The favor with Tunon might be because he considers it a creative solution, still within a word of the law that brought order to the bickering between the others. Got you. You mentioned in an early playthrough that you play Wasteland 3 as Aeon. Could you talk more about that? Yeah, when I did my Aeon run, I was Judge Dredd with a southern accent. And I was thinking I might do the same thing in Wasteland, basically. But thinking back about it, I'm probably not going to do that because there's no aspect of Wasteland that talks a lot about the law in there. I'm hoping one day I'm going to get a game where I can just run around everywhere talking about what's lawful and trying to force people into it. We'll see. We'll see how it works. I'm sure something will come out that'll do it. She waves it off. The glory of war is not an honor reserved for the likes of us. We're the fish swimming in Tunon's wake, picking up scraps along the way. We're rather large and imposing compared to the bottom feeders of the tiers, but fish all the same. I'd like to know more about Tunon. Tunon is our overlord's fair and exacting adjudicator. He speaks with the voice of Kairos' law, and his word is judgment. All of this and more you can learn by asking him yourself. Go on. Or does he intimidate you still? She chuckles softly. I jest, of course. I have some concerns about the war. You are free to share them in my confidence. She leans in closer. We cannot cross the opposition with such weak efforts. Bloodshed and brutality reign supreme. Peace cannot follow such cruelty. Our armies squabble at each other's throats. Divided, we cannot win. Our armies squabble at each other's throats. Divided, we cannot win. I'm less concerned about the armies than the Archons themselves. There can be no order when mountains collide. Who would you see as champion? Neither. They're both at fault and equally inept. Her mood darkens. And then who would lead our advances or be left to deliver Kairos' peace? Would you wear this responsibility as a crown upon your head? You may find it a heavy burden to bear. I can handle it. You misunderstand my, you know what? I'm curious. I can handle it. The adjudicator trusts your prowess, but in this I am more discriminating. You should be as well. Farewell. Now, Fate Binder, you return. Rogalus looks you up and down with an inscrutable expression. You look as if you have questions for me to untangle. Ask. I am feeling generous. Tell me about some of the past Archons. Much that was known has been lost regarding the first Archon of Frost, but his talents were improved upon by 3 following Archons, sisters born together and never seen apart. It is said Rana, Nirabel, and Slayer were so cold at birth that they were thought stillborn. Ren, the second Archon of Lightning, often struggled to control the power that roiled within him. If he suffered but a single slip of concentration, he risked an instant electrocution to his touch. Or so he claimed after killing the first Archon of Water during a diplomatic embrace. No one is entirely sure how many Archons Kairos has killed, but I would guess it numbers several dozen or more, based on the various histories I've been able to piece together. Nox Miria, the Archon of Pestilence, was disliked in her circles. When she opened her eyes to see and her mouth to speak, it is said that flies would gust into the air, swarming so thick as to blacken the sky. She died in the 20th year of her birth, following a string of unusual and grotesque symptoms. Moramis of the Mire, the Archon of Fungus, produced most of the flora in the swampland of Nettlebog. A stooped ermine who rather resembled a dapperling, he was never once reported to have left his swamp. Some believe he still lives within the land, though there's been no sighting of him in nearly 300 years. I have told you all that I wish. If you would tax my time further, ask about something else. Where did you study when you were younger? I've been a ward of the court for as long as I've been aware. As a child, I demonstrated wholly perfect recall, and I absorbed all that Tunon and my tutors had to offer. I remember hating all the lectures and wishing I could learn at my pace. Funny how I envied the sages of the Tears, how they could spend their whole lives reading and never exhaust their library. Of course, now the Vellum Citadel is nothing more than a burning waste. What do you think about the other Fate Binders? You'll need to be more specific than that, I'm afraid. There is, on last count, slightly more than a handful of us. What's your opinion of the Fate Binder of War? Nunavall's keen, brash, and a hearty braggart with a fondness for bloodshed. He can be utterly unbearable at times. His justice is fair, even if he skews towards rather exacting and uncompromising punishments at times. What's your opinion of the Fate Binder of Balance? Callio's the finest among us. Her discernment is beyond reproach, and she is perhaps Tunon's favorite. She has a mind for suspicion and observation that makes others uneasy. We who operate within the confines of the law have nothing to fear, of course. What's your opinion of me? You take liberties with the freedom Tunon offers us. In spite of that, your objectivity is beyond question. You would, I think, execute plaintiff and defendant if neither was worthy in your eyes. Let's talk about something else. Naturally, Fate Binder, what would you like to discuss? MTG has been around for 30 plus years, so card value is a combination of power level of the card, rarity, what set it was printed in, is it foil, current meta, banned, unbanned, stuff like that. Interesting. So literally any card has some level of value. When I played the good multicolored lands were basically all guarantee money, for example. I can't imagine that has changed much. Multicolored lands. Okay. That's Dread with the flaming fist voice. Yeah, that was a fun run. The only card I know is the Black Lotus card, and that's because my cousin had one. Your cousin is a liar. MTG also has a reserve list, which is a list of cards Wizards has promised to never print again. All the cards that are worth an exorbitant amount of money. Is there a site or something where you can see a list of them? Bloatus is the most iconic card and was the most valuable up until last year. Oh, it was a fake. Also, sometimes they are fake cards. Interesting. You did get a game where you could run around telling everyone about the law. It's called Pathfinder Ride the Right. That's where I did the lawful run, Ectia. That's where I did my Judge Dredd run. I played an Aeon and I was screaming the law to everybody I could meet. Not surprised there. Black Lotus is the most infamous example. A lot of cards from the early search are crazy expensive because they'll never be reprinted. Interesting. Unlimited bloats will be in a ridiculous amount of money. I'll see if I have a bloatus. I mostly play Commander opposed to Standard or Modern anymore. Just curious how much would a full Exodia set sell for. At the reprint set, Wizards made a policy of never reprinting a number of early cards known as the reserve list. Commander seems the most fun having the game. Those cards do occasionally get printed as tournament illegal replicas given out as prizes, but there'd never be legitimate reprints of them. Yeah, all my cards in this box are 20 plus years old, so I'd say all of them, all the cards I have are legit. High grade Alpha Lotus would be upwards of $1 million nowadays. Crazy. Wizards does not publicly acknowledge the reserve list. Oh, okay. All right, well, there's what it is. Cosmic, what's going on? Yeah, you're in time for a stream. Can you tell me about the old walls in the Bane? With which should I start? Tell me about the old walls. We know little enough about the ancient structures, save that they predate all historical record. The forbidding ruins crisscross the tiers and north alike centuries before we raised our cities. The only one old enough to guess is likely Kairos. Tell me about the Bane. The Bane are found in the old walls, but much of their defining qualities still escape me. They are creatures of smoke, claw, and fang. If you find yourself unfortunate enough to fight one, remember that spells are effective against them, but grab the attention of others lurking near. Let's discuss something else. As you will. I'd like to know more about the tiers. The political entities of the tiers are essentially split between the bastard tier, the younger realms, and the free cities. Of which would you like to know? What can you tell me about the bastard tier? The bastard tier is the most northern of the tiers and was the first to bow to Kairos' reign. Though the knee they bent fell unwillingly, Kairos had an eye on the bastard tier for many years before he marched on our capital city. This is the hub of trade and commerce. Claim the markets and the people will follow. I'm curious to know more about the younger realms. The younger realms fall the middle and southernmost tiers. It can be cataloged as follows: Apex, Azure, Haven, and Stalwart. Azure was renowned for its exceptionally fertile land, which fed the whole of the tiers. That was before Kairos' Edict of Stone blighted the land. Stalwart is also worth mention, for it comprises the whole of the southernmost tier and provides the toughest and most defensible of the realms. It is often said that the other realms will not fall while Stalwart yet stands. The local army wages bitter war against the disfavored, though the Edict of Storms has cut off the best of their defenses. It is only a matter of time before Stalwart falls. I would like to hear about the free cities. There are 3 free cities remaining: Last Harbor, Spiral's Mall, and Barris in Chains. The first and strongest of the free cities was the Setting Sun, which Kairos crushed in 429 with the Edict of Tumult. After that, the remaining free cities were quick to surrender. Back to my previous questions. Of course, go on. I want to talk about the sages. I will not speak of the sages. They are no better than charlatans and cons, wholly selfish in their ill pursuit to hoard all knowledge from others. They are self-blinded by their own deceptions and clever manipulations. They alone cause their own undoing and are solely to blame for the burning library, one of the most grievous of wrongs in the known histories for which they can never be forgiven. Damn! He might hate them more than Ab does. Farewell. All right. Let's see if any of my previous friends will agree to talk to me now. The chorus gang boss regards you with a look of frank hostility. Fifth Eye was important to us. Even if Mighty Tunon gave you a pass, the gangs won't forget it. I don't know how you plan on fighting this war without an army or what you think you can accomplish on your own, but I am dying to find out. You'll make our time in the tears an interesting one, won't you? He smiles for an uncomfortably long time. Of course you will. You gave me something during the conquest. Tidecaster elders to interrogate. Now I'll give you something in return. He whispers an arcane symbol in your ear, one that you won't soon forget. Fifth Eye promised me blood chanter lore. He slipped and fell off the spire, but his debt still stands. Perhaps you should have waited until the two of you settled his debt before raising a hand against the chorus. You betray us, then come demanding old favors? You can't possibly expect me to honor such a promise now. What possible reason would I have to... Looking back toward Tunon, the chorus warrior clears his throat and steadies his posture. What possible reason would I have to make an enemy of the court? His hand moves towards his satchel and rifles through the contents. If a mere bit of parchment will settle matters, it is no imposition. Besides, I rather like the notion of you flattering the chorus by way of imitating our magic. Sigil of blood magic. Awesome. He hands you a scroll with a pompous flourish. Study and study well. The voice of Narat prefers them educated. Mocking Blaze. I'd immolate you right where you stand if it were for Tunon breathing down our necks. He ignores you with a stern and distant expression. Aurora avoids making eye contact with you, but instead carries on speaking with her company. I am duty-bound to remain civil to you in this vaunted court, but don't push it, traitor. Fate Binder. The lieutenant gives you a curt nod. I'm ill at ease in this polished hall, but I admit that it's a reprieve from the battlefield and training grounds. If Ash needs me to stay here and represent his interests throughout the occupation, then I'll be up to the task. She seems cordial. High-grade Alpha Lotus would be upwards of the mill. Not publicly announced, right. Flint Treasure, I believe. Will you play that game when it drops? Flint Treasure of Oblivion. What's going on, Notorious? I don't think I know that game. Is that the pirate game with the old school graphics that's supposed to be coming out soon? Where's the Phoenix Wright music? What? Cairo says no sense of fun in this court. Oblivious miles out of a general TCG channel in Discord. Nurse, it crosses over a lot, so chances are a good portion of you also play TCG. What is TCG? I was excited about a pirate CRPG. Okay, so that is the old school pirate one. I probably won't be able to play it soon. I'm not. When is it supposed to come out? When is that game supposed to come out? I got like 3 games coming out that I need to play, so it'll be a while before I get it. Next week is Broken Roads. Early May, we got King Arthur, the expansion. And then at the end of May, we got Scald, Black Priority. That just got announced. So I'm definitely going to be playing all 3 of those. Speaker Sage proceeds to immediately speak at length about them. Jovi, what's going on? 13. Yeah, okay. I'm really hoping Alcat make another Pathfinder game. Me too, Lord. I'd like to see a few other transfer to CRPG. I want to see Starfinder. That's really the only reason I want to make another Pathfinder game. I understand it seems like they're gearing towards trying to create their own IPs, and I'm totally fine with that. Just make Starfinder first. Once you've done is make a Starfinder that's just as good as Wrath of Righteous, and I'm good. Move on to whatever. But please do that first. Got you. TCG stands for trading card game. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Your Pillars of Eternity 2 video got me wanting to play it. That's awesome, Jovi. That's awesome. Deadfire is a lot of fun. Okay, Q4. All right, so we got a while. I want to see Starfighter and more Pathfinder and more Rogue Trader. I'm down for it all. Two-Handed Giant is an actual game. It all has so much potential. Yep. And I'm hoping Alcat explores it. We'll see. We shall see. All right. First, okay. So I can't get to that middle part. So, I can't get up to Tunon. Don't tell me that. Oh wait, but I still? Oh, I can talk to him. Okay, cool. So let's do a quick save and then talk. You return, and it's gratifying to see that the war has not caused you to forget your roots. What is it you wish to know? Tell me about Kairos. Kairos is our overlord. She ushers us from the brink of chaos with a stern hand and gestures to the way of peace. We are only too eager to follow in her perfect example. How old is Kairos? By our reckoning, her age upon Terratus is magnificent. Her true span defies measurement by our limited construct of time. It would be a waste to spend our few pitiable years attempting to solve that riddle of existence. Think of Kairos not as subject to beginnings or endings. Kairos is, and Kairos will ever be. What is your relationship to Kairos? She is my master, and I her dutiful pupil. In this respect, you and I are no different. I have the honor of Kairos' confidence. She trusts me to enact her law upon the boundless territory of her rule. I am only too grateful to serve. I am the voice of Kairos' will, the harbinger of her judgment, and the arm of her justice. Do you think Kairos' laws are fair? Oh, why did I do that? I wasn't even thinking. I forgot. In conversations with him, you could be punished just for asking a question. So we got to be careful about what questions we ask. All right, let's do that again. Tell me about Kairos. Hi. Oh, what is your relationship? So no, don't ask him about Kairos Fair. Don't ask him about being referred to as a woman. Let me ask you about something else. Ask, but be cautious with your time. The tears do not rest. Tell me about Bledin Mark. He is my headsman and an assassin without equal. His official designation in Kairos' hierarchy is the Archon of Shadows, though I wonder that he ever considers himself aught but a slayer of the unjust. How did he earn his title? His work away from the court takes Bledin Mark to the dark places of the world, the Tears and the Northern Empire alike. Over time, Shadows became his dominion. They cloak him, protect him, and even fight for him if the need arises. It is said that Bledin Mark can travel to any place where shadows are cast. Only he would know this for certain. Does Bledin Mark serve you alone? Your question is flawed. We are all servants of Kairos. The Archons are also agents of their own interests, those chosen few empowered to bring order to the world in accordance with Kairos' peace. At present, Bledin Mark is my vassal and I his patron. The relationship is not so different from Graven Ash and Cairn, the fallen Archon, or the voices of Nerat and his songbird, Seren. Such partnerings and apprenticeships are common. They provide mutual benefit to the Archons involved, as well as a measure of oversight. Back to my other questions. You may proceed. I'm curious about you, Archon. Curiosity is not a trait that I encourage in my servants. Too often have I witnessed such activity lead down a path to lawlessness. However, if you feel that a better understanding of me will inform your work, then I will allow it. What would you know? Tell me about your rise to become adjudicator. Curb your ambition, student. My path to this dais is not one that could be replicated under any circumstances. However, if your curiosity is determined, I will tell you my story. Lore. I wish to understand law and your execution of it. An admirable pursuit. You know much of Kairos' law and the maintenance of order already. My history may tell you something of how it can be used to win wars. I came into the world centuries ago, before the dream of a unified Northern Empire was fully realized. My home country lay far from the borders of Kairos' realm, and our conquest was a matter of distant speculation. Decades before rumor of Kairos' approach grew in panic volume, I familiarized myself with the intricacies of her law. It took me no time at all to realize the benefits of our inevitable subjugation. I took it upon myself to rise in my country's governance as an arbiter of law and drafter of covenants, building some notoriety for my execution of fair justice. As my influence and the trust of my people evolved, my decisions transcended to define future precedent. Abandonment! What's going on? How are you? Ooh, Total War 3 DLC? Nice. The Pazzo has said they will go with another company for Starfighter, but who knows? Really? Oh wow, why would they do that? 2v2 format, where once one person dies, you've cut a head off the giant and you both lose. Interesting. The Giant is a version where teams of players share a life total and take the term simultaneously. Yo, that sounds like a lot of fun, actually. Carlos James pronounces mid-campaign very topical. He earlier, yeah, but they were calling Kairos he mistakenly, assuming that he was a he. Hey, what are you talking about right now? What's your Mount Rushmore of rapper slander? It's Kendrick, Killer Mike, LP, and Kanye for me. My Mount Rushmore? That's an excellent question that I've never thought about. I mean, Pac definitely has to be on there for me. I think I don't feel like any rapper has ever shown more layers than Tupac Shakur as far as their writing and their flow. So he's definitely tops. I put Jay-Z up there as well because not only obviously Jay-Z is a prolific writer, but I have a lot of respect for people who can be at the top of the game across multiple generations. So, you know, a new wave of fans come in and they still respect Jay-Z. He comes out with a new project and they're all like, oh, wow, this is amazing. So I give him a lot of respect. He would definitely have to be on my personal Mount Rushmore. And then when I think about those last two slots, though, like to me, those are the obvious ones. That's probably a question I would need to put more thought into, to be honest with you. To be honest, I think I put Snoop Dogg on that same level as well. I think Snoop Dogg, I put him on the top as far as rappers that appeal to just about anybody who can step into any room. It doesn't matter whether it's kids, middle aged, old, thugs, corporate, hipster. It doesn't matter. It just seems like Snoop Dogg appeals to everybody on all sets, and he's able to craft music and lyrics that appeal to just wide swaths of people, no matter who you are. And even though he really doesn't, he hasn't really put effort into his lyricisms for years, but there was definitely a time where Snoop Dogg was considered top tier as far as a lyricist. So, like, you know, he has that capability, or at least he had that capability at one point. And so, to me, it's just hard not to say that he's not one of the greatest of all time, and someone who really pushed the culture. And on that same note, I kind of feel like you have to put Dr. Dre up there. I feel like Dr. Dre, even though obviously his rapping ability isn't really up there, from a producer standpoint, I consider Dr. Dre to be the greatest hip hop producer of all time. And I think there are a lot of people who would become famous and big who would not be nearly as famous if it wasn't for Dr. Dre's production behind them that made people pay attention. Like, I don't think Eminem grows nearly as big if he doesn't start out with Dr. Dre and have those amazing beats behind those lyrics. Eminem is amazing. His lyrics are amazing. I definitely take nothing away from him. But I think Dr. Dre created a musical environment where it was very easy for people to pay attention to them. I feel like 50 Cent also owes a lot to Dr. Dre. I think that In the Club beat really skyrocketed 50's career. And mind you, I was old enough where I truly watched 50 Cent's rise. I was listening to him before he became big. And so he already had a lot of buzz around him. But that In the Club beat just put him in a totally different stratosphere. Totally different stratosphere. So to me, Dr. Dre is one of those guys where you got to put up there and you got to respect it. And I think it makes complete sense that new Grammy award for hip hop that they have, that it's named after him. I think, to be honest, that he is on that level. It is. It's how I got into MTG, and it's very fun. Nice. Outcat probably already has something lined up and couldn't do Starfinder. My question would be, why wasn't Starfinder what they had lined up? But you know what? I have 100% faith in Outcat. So regardless of what they'll do, I probably enjoy it. I just really want a Starfinder game. I just really want a Starfinder game. Either that or 2E Pathfinder. Yeah. No Pac, no Nas is the same. Yeah, you know, I love Nas, and I feel like Nas, when he's at his very, very best, is like top three lyricists all time, no question. But the problem is, I don't feel like Nas is nearly as consistent as some of the other people are. Like, to me, Nas has two classic albums, right? Jay Z has more, Pac has more. Both the Biggie's albums are classic. Like Nas has some real, real flops. He tried to go Hollywood, it worked out terribly. Like he's just his projects are not consistent enough for me to put him in that same class as I put some of the other major hip hop artists. News portion of the hip hop community has Jay Z as the goat of rap, and I don't think I think it's extremely difficult to argue with that. I think it's very, very difficult to argue that Jay Z is not the goat. Snoop is just a real cool. I mean, it's a good question. Maybe big, though he went too early. And Snoop's flow is unique indeed. Yeah. What's going on, Sam? How are you? I don't feel like Biggie has a large enough catalog of work in order for him to be put in that GOAT conversation. I definitely feel like he would have been in that conversation if he had lived, but no, I just don't feel like there's enough there because it's not just about did you drop a couple of good projects. It's also about how long were you good. Like to me, that's what makes Jay Z top tier. When you look at the breadth of time where he every time he drops an album, he takes over the summer. That's insane. There's just not very many artists who can say the same. All right, so does it appeal to me? Now's my number five, but I didn't grow up in that era, so it doesn't hold the impact. Got you. I don't know. I think Christmas present had my favorite. What? Christmas presents? What are you talking about? Dre saved him, and M has been watched since 2010. Yeah, Eminem has not been nearly at the same level, and Eminem was always someone who I felt like he had great flow, and he was always able to create lyrics that went along great with his flow. But I didn't consider Eminem to be this person who made like really, really poignant lyrics that made you sit back and think and consider life and all that kind of stuff, right? It was just like he had this amazing flow where you're like, yo, there's no way I could be able to do that if I got on a beat, which is very, very commendable, you know, and something that's impressive. But I just don't consider Eminem to be in like the real GOAT category, even though I'm definitely someone who loved Eminem and listened to a ton of his music for a long time. I saw an amazing point of view with the K Dot versus J. Cole thing. Someone said it's like the Jay Z versus Nas beef ages ago, where at the end they they made a huge hit. That's completely possible, completely possible. Yeah, and that's another thing. To me, it shows you're the GOAT as well if you can take a punch in the mouth and it really doesn't affect your legacy. You ask most people, Jay Z lost the beef against Nas, and he lost it bad, but it didn't really bring him down in the standings, you know? It definitely helped out Nas's career, though. I think Nas is looked at much greater, specifically because of Ether. Feel like I get if I get one more great album out of Kendrick, it'll cement him as my personal GOAT. See, the thing about Kendrick is I look at him as a great artist who makes great music, but I don't see him as someone who shifts the culture, right? Now, but I say that, but I'm also older, right? So I'm not really in the culture like that. So maybe if I was in it more and constantly consuming things, I would feel differently about him. But just looking at, I don't feel like there's like a legion of people who are all trying to be like Kendrick, right? Or that man, when you look at the way music is, there was music before Kendrick came out, and then there's music after Kendrick came out. I don't feel like he's like that. Whereas when I look at some of these other rappers, they shift the culture. They made people say, oh, I need to copy that guy if I want to be great. Like Jay-Z shifted the culture. There was legions of people trying to be just like Jay-Z. To this day, people are still trying to be like Pac. You know, to be honest with you, you know, he's definitely not on my Rushmore, but let's just be straight up. Chief Keef, shift the culture in a major way. I think most people try to probably say that it's a negative way, but this whole drill music scene and this whole, everybody trying to be a drill artist, Chief Keef is the one who really made that happen. He pushed the culture in a major way. I don't feel that same way about Kendrick Lamar, to be honest with you. Starfighter wasn't as big till recently, but that should make it viable. At the end of the day, I want more companies making Pathfinder games anyway. So, if Outcat has moved on, cool. You need to find somebody else. M isn't the greatest right rapper either. In my opinion, is LP. See, I've heard about LP, but I've never listened to him a great deal, so I can't comment. Co-op run of BG3 in my mouth. Ooh! Gale of Waterdeep is best friend Bibbles under Hollow the Dove Druid. That's awesome. That sounds like a lot of fun, isn't it? Like, who? It's all good, Country. I'm young, but I researched rap for ages. My oldest brother made me grow up on Nas, Biggie, Pac, Jay-Z, so I understand why they're absolutely amazing compared to others my age. Got you. Cool D needs to be on the Mount Rushmore. What's going on, CJC? That's another one. I put him in the same category as Biggie, where I feel like Cool D, amazing flow and absolutely outstanding lyrics, but I don't think he has enough classic level content and music for him to be put in that GOAT status. Kunchu, what's your favorite genre of music? Chief Keef is borderline much more. Like, if you want to just talk about influence and changing the music scene, Chief Keef is unquestionably like one of those top level guys that you can look at what the way music was before he came out and after he came out, and there's a clear market shift and difference. Like, to me, I put him and Pac on the same level in terms of that, as far as how much they influence people. All these kids right now, they're basically trying to be Chief Keef. They're basically trying to be him in their own way. All right. We have the new song Fine because Def Punch dropped with DMX. What? And definitely honors his memory. Did not hear that, but DMX is one of my favorite. I'll definitely have to check that out. Who's a Steph Curry of rap? By which I mean, who ruined it by making everyone shoot threes forever? Chief Keef. Chief Keef, for sure. For sure. You got all these people trying to be drill artists, and it sucks. It's absolutely terrible. Drill music is just hard. Like, if you need something to work out to, you might need aggressive beat. Absolutely, and that's why it's caught on like it is. But unfortunately, everything else that goes with it is terrible, terrible. Mom chose to play Gail because she thinks it's hot. All right. I took it upon myself to write. Oh, we read all that. Okay. Go on. What my countrymen could not have surmised was that I had woven into our customs the very backbone of Kairos' law. I set the stage for the conquest of our floundering nation to join the Overlord's empire. By the time the Overlord's army presented themselves and offered terms of surrender, we had adopted Kairos' peace in all but name. Our absorption into the Northern Empire was a matter of legal formality, negligible changes to our already beloved document of law. The people credited me as the architect of peace, and for a time called me Tunon the Fair. As my importance grew in their estimate, Kairos could not help but learn of the part I played in her bloodless victory. Kairos' law has a breadth of intricacies that is unapproachable to the masses. I was chosen to interpret and represent the Overlord's will across the Northern Empire and beyond, this time as adjudicator. It is my pride, my duty, my life. Interesting. What does it mean to be an Archon? I am a figure of power and significance, and under Kairos' mandate, I am able to exercise my authority for the benefit of all. Had I not earned the Overlord's approval, I would not stand tall before you. Did you come into power yourself, or did Kairos foster your talents? An astute question. Doubtless I exhibited some spark of potential on my own, insignificant, though enough to accomplish deeds of note. Only under Kairos' tutelage have I grown to these heights. Could anyone become an Archon? Absolutely not. Only a precious few grow into this authority. Were it otherwise, Terratus would descend into pandemonium. Of those few who rise into power, fewer still have the self-control to make lawful use of their talents. And of those who can, fewer still are deemed worthy of Kairos' approval. Is every Archon subservient to Kairos? All are subservient before Kairos, but I intuit your meaning. The Overlord takes great pains to recognize potential. Before an Archon comes into their power, they will have faced the harshest scrutiny by an agent of recruitment, if not Bledin Mark himself. Those who are found worthy of incredible deeds but refuse to join their strength to the needs of the Empire are doomed to die. Those who wish to make a name for themselves are invited into the fold to serve and rule the needs of the Empire. That is the price of power in Kairos' hierarchy. Let's go back to my previous questions about you. Very well, Fatebinder. What would you know of me? What's the deal with your mask? What? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna reload, but I want to know this. It should be obvious to you by now, since the answer is relevant to your duties. I will tolerate your ignorance and explain. What? The face is an uncontrollable warren of muscle spasms and reactionary contortions, sickening in its display of every petty bias. It cannot be trusted to audience or judge a dispute without navigating a gauntlet of subjectivity for all to witness. Go on. In my early days before the Northern Empire spread in my lands, I fashioned a mask of listening out of stern, uncaring wood. This expression of endearing patience harkens the testimony of my petitioners, taking all evidence, weighing matters. Later in my career, Kairos herself get the mask will resolve. You'll find an almost identical mask of listening, save with a brow furrowed in contemplation. This is the face that dismisses law, often the most exacting and unforgiving sort. I wore it when I brought Kairos' devastating judgment to the bastard city, and doubtless I will wear it again. What do you look like underneath the mask? Tunon hovers aside, staring down. Your Honor. Wrath. The shadows wreathed at Tunon's feet whip about like waves in a storm, ebbing and flowing your direction. Unmistakable air of danger. Your Honor. The question is irrelevant. Justice is ageless, sexless, devoid of opinion, other than right or wrong. A face is extraneous to the function of law. Move on from this line of questioning. Fatebinder will do you no good. Yes, but what do you look like? Do you even remember? I wore the mask of my office for centuries, like my gavel. It is a symbol, a testament to my authority. There's no need to remove it. That doesn't answer my question. Damn. And yet it must suffice. You go too far. You have earned the court's displeasure, and I hear no more from you. Dismiss. He slams the pommel of his gavel to the ground. Huh. I'm just curious. How many, where's that listed? Here we go. And Tunon. Damn, you got quite a bit of wrath out of him. All right, fine. Let's reload that. If M continued his greatness from 2010, oh my God, yeah, that would have been incredible. The next Pathfinder thing is a Diablo style thing. Yeah, I noticed that. Definitely not my cup of tea. Future. Oh, Future. Future's another one. Future, you could argue, was the usher of the mumbling era. Yes. Future absolutely 100% shifted the culture. 100%. 100%. What does it mean to be Archon? What's the deal with your mask? No, we'll skip that. Okay. Yep, I completely forgot about Future. Yeah, Mumble Rap God. She also liked Will when she watched one of my playthroughs. Everyone with good sense likes Will. But Lil Pump is not much rush. Wow. I'll never forget that damn song with Kanye. The only character I don't find how to glance is Mithara, but I changed my mind after I got a romance scene. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Mithara is great. For the port of it was? Wow. It's before your eyes. Jab Jammer fighting. Ooh, Davey, what's going on? Yeah, I'm a big fan of Def Jam Vendetta. I used to love that game when I was younger. I buff all Tunon just for the mask. For Joker to be honest. Tell the to put on some drill bits and throw down. I just wanted to see. I like that it's a muscle spasm. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. Very sensitive, JV. Ooh, Lil Wayne. So, damn, you know, I give a lot of respect to rappers who lift up other rappers, right? Because that's part of your influence on the culture. So one of the things that really adds to Jay-Z's resume is that there are so many other rappers that he kind of lifted up and showcased to the world, like Memphis Bleak, Beanie Siegel, were the Locks on Rockefeller for a while? I can't remember, but like there are a lot of different rappers that were part of his groups that he kind of used his power and cachet to shine some light on them. And Lil Wayne, I mean, come on. At the end of the day, he gave us Drake and Nicki Minaj, and look at what has happened in their careers. And Lil Wayne's body of work is incredible. Like the amount of high quality work. See, there are some people who put out a ton of projects, but it's really not all that great. Lil Wayne used to just constantly come out with mixtapes, and they all were banging. Like you could let those mixtapes play from beginning to end. It was insane. And even more insane, there are some rappers who they're only good on freestyle songs. There are other rappers who are only good at like making like true songs with a hook, you know, and fully organized. Lil Wayne is a type of rapper who he can rap any type of way you want to. I mean, the song that he made for Skip Bayless's Undisputed show, he made two separate songs. One when Shannon Sharp was on the show, and then he made another song for him after Shannon Sharp left. You can argue that the second song is even better than the first one, but they are both absolute bangers. Like Skip Bayless has the best opening song out of any sports show on TV. Point blank period. Point blank period. Good Morning is amazing. Amazing. Did you come up with the Office of Fate Binders? Indirectly, yes. Just as I am the representative of Kairos' law across Territus, you are the face of my judgment for the people. I took inspiration from the Overlord's example, as we all should. The people need an approachable face to settle their grievances, and I am not available to adjudicate on every sharecropper's dispute. The Fate Binders were an inevitable solution. Why is curiosity such a problem? Because my vassals are not selected for their independence of thought. You are an agent of law, the execution of which falls within strict confines. Your intellect may aid the task ahead of you, but your unwavering obedience is of greater value to me. Lore, don't you want me to interpret Kairos' law to fit any circumstance? Naturally, but take care not to let your intellect veer you from the straightforward path. I've seen it happen and lost more than one pupil who thought themselves above their station, convinced that they knew better. What happened to those pupils? Anyone who oversteps their bounds is given the opportunity to amend their ways. Those who fail to heed my warning show contempt for Kairos' peace and are treated accordingly. The purpose of law is to set the standard for others. Though I am generous with the freedom I offer to Fate Binders, you are still inextricably tied to Kairos' law. Straining that tether to a breaking point will reflect poorly upon you. Back to my other questions. What would you know? I wish to speak about matters of law. Then you are well situated, for my court is the legal heart of this corrupt and uncivilized realm. What matters draw your curiosity? You are already well versed in Kairos' law, but I am happy to discuss the particulars. I wish to discuss Kairos' peace, the cornerstone of our wartime efforts, of course. Kairos' peace guarantees all willing supplicants under the Overlord's authority a place in her world. The exact wording of the bylaw is, your life is not yours to discard. The Overlord has plans for you. This extends to several spheres of influence. Among others, it grants protection to enemies who surrender in a time of war, and it forbids suicide. To dispense with the Overlord's vassal and property is prohibited. Has one of the best albums ever. The Carter 3 was insane. Facts. Absolutely. Absolutely. So now how would you say Joker currently feels about Tunon? Joker feels like he can twist him to support Joker's ambitions instead of Kunan's, instead of Kairos's. And he would remix and shit on people's songs 100%. 100%. I hate and vehemently refuse the next Pathfinder game. I do not want to play a pre-made character, and this BS is going to force me to play a pre-made character, even a badass character like a Barry. We don't know whether or not we're going to like it yet 3. Just pump your brakes. Let's see some full gameplay first, and then make a decision. Caldwell loser, but I do think he saw some hasty rewrites that made him feel a little vanilla. Yeah, there's been a lot of discussion online about them feeling like Will was kind of screwed over as a character, especially when you look at all these updates going to everybody else except Will. A lot of Will fans are upset right now. I don't get upset about it because I understand Lair and Studios at the end of the day this is a business. If Will is not getting the same buzz as other characters, then they're not gonna invest in him the same way. It just is what it is. The latex line, yeah. Is Puffy a goat? You know, it's one of those things where if all this wasn't going on right now, I would say yes. But honestly, I don't know. I'm the type of person where, to me, the GOAT conversation is about the culture, right? And so it's also got to be about how you represent the culture. Let's take away current day times, all right? Let's just look at the breadth of Puffy's history. He's obviously done a tremendous amount to push the culture, change the culture. There are a lot of rappers who basically ate off his plate, and being around him allowed a light to be shed on what they were doing. But he has done so much tremendous harm. There's such a long stream of artists who've made it clear, like, yo, he stole from me, he harmed my career, he purposefully basically harmed me to the point that I feel like he's done so much to damage the culture that it overshadows a lot of what he's done to help the culture, and I really don't consider him a GOAT. Even though if you took all that out and just looked at the body of work, unquestionably he's on that status. But I feel like what you've done to damage the culture matters as well. So even if you take out the current stuff that's happening right now with him being raided, we don't know what's true, what's not true. None of that is settled law. Other things I think are pretty clearly settled law. It's settled law that he fucked over Mace, tried to screw him out of his money, screw him out of his royalties, all sorts of other crazy stuff. Same with the Locks, same with Little Kim. He is deeply embroiled in the case of Tupac's murder, where it really does seem like he paid money to have Tupac murdered, which if it actually turns out is true, imagine the loss to the hip hop world because Puff Daddy was upset about some things Tupac said regarding him. Like, how much did the hip hop community lose when Tupac was murdered? You know, this stuff, there's less rumors regarding it, but there's a lot of people who are involved in the industry who say they feel like Puff Daddy was the one who had Biggie murdered because Biggie was ready to leave Bad Boy because, again, they pretty much everybody on Bad Boy figured out Puff Daddy doesn't do good business. Puff Daddy is not going to protect you and take care of you the way that a label head should. And so when I look at all of that, I can't put him on that stat. I can't put him on Mashroor because you don't take care of and represent the culture properly. This is not about being a businessman, right? Jay-Z does hard business. Hard business. There are absolutely people who have misgivings after doing business with Jay-Z. So this is not about you being all lovey-dovey. It's about, do I feel like you're actually harmful towards the culture and that you've been a cancerous negative impact on the culture? I don't feel that way about a Jay-Z. I absolutely feel that way about Puff Daddy. Need to give away anyway. So many old heads refuse to move on past the 90s, 20s. They do not understand the point of Pathfinder games. MGK, he could take over genre if he was a talent. There's definitely talent there. MGK was the first one who really went toe to toe to Eminem as well. Fine, always had to be the voice of reason. I tried. Let's see, mostly because fine on my own games. Rain of Winter, Skulls and Shackles. Yep. Lori, I did a video on the top 5 Pathfinder APs I want to see played, and Skull and Shackles and Hell's Vengeance was definitely on them. I've never heard of I've only briefly seen things about Jade Regent. What's great about that one? Personal life, R. Kelly is borderline top 5 artists of all time. That's really unquestionable. Man, when I Believe I Can Fly came out, my whole family was on that. Really just took over the show. Feel like more of the streams better about various depositions. I'm trying to go back and forth. I'm trying to go back and forth. Andrew Tate is a rapper. All right. Remind me how the Overlord's name may be used. It is not forbidden to cross one's tongue with Kairos' name, but it behooves one to use caution and respect. The Overlord's name is not yours to give, whether the progeny, product, location, or abstraction. Slander of the Overlord is punishable by death. There is only one Kairos, and her name is safeguarded. No one may say Kairos and have it obfuscated by a second meaning. Neither will her name be associated to trivialities. A gambler will not attribute his fortune to Kairos' luck, or his misfortune to Kairos' scorn. Such an association lowers the Overlord in the public estimate, and is rightly considered slander most foul. Let us discuss the old walls. The old walls are forbidden, as are their contents and their denizens. Owning any item from the old walls is considered trespass, regardless of how it came into your possession. Mind that in the course of your travels. As the old walls extend across much of the tiers in Northern Empire alike, Kairos permits her servants to pass only where she has sculpted the landscape to permit traverse. Under no circumstances are you to enter or breach in the old walls, even for a task as innocent as crossing to the other side. If those restrictions seem too severe, I will remind you that they are for the protection of Kairos' subjects. The Overlord has no desire to see harm needlessly inflicted upon our loyal followers. Remind me of the magician's folly. Practitioners of the arcane arts must be sanctioned by one of Kairos' guilds, such as the Blood Chanters or Forge Bound. Rogue magicians with a tenuous grasp of unknown powers will not be tolerated. Ebb lowers her gaze to the ground, thumbing the cords of her bandolier in a thinly veiled attempt to appear uninvolved in the discussion. Your orphan mage there is covered by the aegis of the Blood Chanters Guild. When you consign the elders of the school to their fate, all of her tradition are now, in the eyes of the law, Blood Chanters. Diplomatic immunity. And all it cost me was my dignity. So I'm a Blood Chanter in the eyes of the law. Just salt the wounds, why don't you? A sanctioned mage whose spellcasting causes damage to life or property is lawfully deemed innocent. As long as they practice their art in the service of Kairos, all is forgiven. Let's speak of quotas and sharing. Whoops. I accidentally picked the same one. The harvest blooms and blights by the will of Kairos. In times of lean, you will be fed. In times of wealth, you will feed others. This law is a sizable category unto itself, serving many needs at once, trade and tax being only two examples. The broadest intent of the law is to empower Kairos' subjects to care for their neighbor and expect care in return. You might take note of the law's application to trade. A merchant's right to peddle their wares is defined by permits granted annually. The regional authority has the right to decide if a merchant sells cabbage one year and sandals the next. Anyone breaking through their restrictions is subject to immediate forfeiture of all assets. You need not concern yourself over the nuances, at least until they apply to this contested realm in a time of peace. I'm curious about the restriction on forbidden knowledge. Kairos herself sets the standard of what can and cannot be known. These restrictions are rarely enforced, but they are worth taking into account. During the war, for example, Kairos deemed the knowledge of the Vellum Citadel taboo. No one may possess the wisdom of that fallen repository save Kairos herself. Calling it all taboo seems a bit like overkill, but to play Kairos' advocate, the world would hardly be safer if all had access to the lore of making poisons or the art of arming brigands in fine bronze. This is for the protection of our subjects. Before the coming of Kairos during the ages of anarchy and discord, powerful knowledge in undeserving hands leveled empires without thought or mercy. Kairos has no desire to revisit those dark times. You are exceedingly curious about the application of Kairos' law. I find it refreshing that you would seek my counsel, Faintbinder. Ooh. Am I beholden to these laws? I'm not going to ask that. Back to my previous questions. You wish to discuss common matters? Very well. I have no more questions. Then be on your way. All right. Let's just check this real quick. Where's this? And so where's he sitting at? Ooh, we're at almost 5. Look at that. Okay. I'm pretty sure you have to do more than just get a high rank with him, but still. Fate Binder, we have nothing further to discuss. All right, guess we don't. Whoa. Uh-oh. Mm-hmm. Wow. Really need to stop bringing up rap. Derails the stream every time. It's all good. Whatever y'all like talking about. Imagine as you see rapping. Everything's perfectly on topic right now. Benjamin, what's going on? I'm curious why anyone would think that this is the cabbage merchant is a good idea. We all know what happened to the Earth Kingdom. It was Shadow Art of rap battle. Imagine not killing Smog and claim to be Alfred and a hero. Would he that Jordan Peterson this? Wow. Wow, wow. Welcome back, kid. Amusing as it would have been to watch the edict drop, I guess I'm glad you lived. Blood and Mark, Archon of Shadows, rouses from a faraway stare, turning to face you with a wry smile. Though he stands still, he seems to sift in and out of the shadows that shroud him. Want to know something? The Archon's voice ends on a playful melody, and the red face paint above his jawline creases with a smile. Glance behind you to ensure you are not being overheard, then nod once. You won in a lose-lose situation. Not saying the adjudicator was wrong to send you into certain death. Someone had to read the edict. But I like your type, kid. You're the right combination of capable and too damn stubborn to die that not only survives, but thrives on suicide missions. The Archons fighting damn well didn't help your chances. Can't say I'd have done different if it was my life on the line. Everyone's keeping an eye on you because you did something nobody has done before. Got a guess as to what that might be? First fight binding engaged in war to proclaim 2 edicts, to resolve an edict before its consecrating the path, to awaken and inspire, take an evasive stance. I'm the first fate binder to proclaim 2 edicts. I'm the first fate binder to awaken and inspire of the old walls. Yeah, let's go with that. Inspire of the old walls. You're not wrong. That was definitely a shock, but I doubt it's the sole reason you've made the tears tremble. Proclaiming an edict isn't new, neither is surviving or resolving the commandments of an edict. But you're the first to proclaim and resolve the very same edict, and it didn't kill you. In one fell swoop, you survived your second edict, resolved the very one you had proclaimed, and woke an arcane structure that had slept for several centuries. And now I go on your short list of people who stand out as potential problems? More or less. Mostly more. He offers you a dangerous grin. I don't care what you do with the information, but you should know the danger you're in now that you've put yourself on the map. Since you don't seem big on playing nice with the Archons, you can bet both of their armies are going to try to cut you down as soon as you go forward. Watch out for a knife in your back. Thanks for the advice. The Archon Shadow shrugs to you in farewell, but his golden eyes are alight with interest as he watches you. Kairos' standard, an imposing sight for both conquered and unconquered alike. Can you talk to him again? There's a reason you're gaping at me like I just gutted you, kid. Or do you just like to stand around and stare? Ooh, I've got favorite 3 with him. That bracelet you're wearing is rather eye-catching. I bet you're thinking something like it'd look even better on you, right, kid? This? He waves his left arm in the air, examining the blacker than black bracer, the strapping armlet that appears simultaneously solid as obsidian and diaphanous as a sigh, almost a living, pulsing thing. That'd be my binding of shadows. Want it? Diaphanous. What does that mean? characterized by such fineness of texture as to permit seeing through, characterized by extreme delicacy of form, insubstantial, vague. Interesting. Haven't heard that word before. Tom Bombadil. What are y'all talking about? Y'all sleeping on the Lord of the Rings rap by flying in the Concords? That was my first catch and roll. Definitely my favorite. Wow. I just did the library first, and Tunon is pissed off. Really? He's cool with me so far, Sunset. What's going on, man? Okay, imagine for a moment my fellow Obsidians get license for a massive LP. But you play as Sauron attempt to conquer Middle Earth. Ooh! Celebrate more. It does warm my soul that we have so many Lord of the Rings fans in the community. So for Pillars 2 to 1, does anyone know if there are any wizard grimoires you can buy, or are they all just drops? You can buy some, but the very best are drops. You can also find like master level wizards that have unique spells in their grimoires that you can't get while leveling up. You were said to die when you pronounced the edict. That implies Kairos didn't expect it to be resolved and wanted to kill the two Archons. Facts. It does. You just give it to me? Why? Try it on and find out. He grins, teeth stark, flat, and wide. Unlike you, kid, I wouldn't steer you wrong. Okay, hand it over. With a gruff grunt and some difficulty, he ratchets the bracer off so it is solid after all, and tosses it to you one-handed. Careful with it, he warns when you accept the gift. Not only weapons can be double-edged swords. You acquired the Binding of Shadows, so your power has increased. What does that mean? Your power? Is this? Oh, what's the power for, though? I don't know. I don't know what that's supposed to be about. Power. And I just got more of it. All right, whatever. Is this something that's in here? Doesn't look like it. Okay, so it doesn't look like it's really something I can wear. Is this any better than what I have? Doesn't look like it is. No, so we're good on that. This is a heavy armor, so I can't do anything with that. This is a light leather vest. It's going to increase my recovery time. Wait, no. Doesn't it have less recovery time, actually? Yeah, this is light armor plus 2 to flight. Yeah, this is better. This is better. Let's put this on, shall we? Spellbinder armor has been nice, but it's time to do something a little different. And this is heavy armor. Can't do anything with that for sure. How's your lore? Oh, blood magic. Learn. That sigil. Can you learn this? You already know that, so we can sell that. And I thought there was still one more of those. No? We got the other ones we need? Okay. This is heavy armor. That's heavy armor as well, right? Okay, fine. So we got plenty of things to sell. Oh, you know what? Now that I think about it, we can sell it to the smith. So I have to make sure we do that. All right. Save here.
You got it.
And, all right, where's it going to let us go to? Whoa. Oh, yeah, World Court. Okay. So now we could go to Ashweald. I don't remember what that's supposed to be. Or we can go to a Mountain Spire. Or we can go to the Sunset Spire. We got options. I wonder why it doesn't. So I guess it's not going to allow us to go here. Location unreachable. This area is currently inaccessible. Okay. Haven, Vendor as well. Okay, first I want to go to the Mountain Spire. There we go. Shalab eats flies. Well, if I may, I'm just quietly observing. All right. Kenrick. It's wait. We need to talk to Bear too, though. Hold on. Because Verse had some things to say with him, right? Fate Binder, if you have a moment, Baric stands at attention, his rigid bearing making of him an unmovable statue. I know that the two of us have clashed on several subjects since the Iron Marshal assigned me to your protection. I hope those disagreements do not weigh too heavily against the request I'm about to make of you. That maybe you're supposed to trigger this conversation before you betray Graven Ash, because he seems a little lighter of tone. What do you want? I hope that perhaps the adjudicator will hear my case. What are you talking about? I have been encased in this. He wraps a gauntlet against the shards of corroded iron and bronze that sweep across his chest. Shell, since Cairo's Edict of Storms made a grave of old stalwart. It occurred in service to the Overlord, and I would ask that the Overlord free me of its burden. Aren't you more useful to the Overlord in your armor? Perhaps, but there are other armors. Air passes from his helmet, possibly the result of a sigh. Any respectable commander would extol to you the virtues of high morale. I confess that each day I remain confined to this monstrosity, mine's wings. Tunon can't order Kairos to take your armor off. I have several daydreams that would take issue with your statement. I wasn't going to ask for the Overlord to do it personally. His metal plates grind together as he shifts. The forge-bound guild swore its services to the adjudicator. If any hope of my freedom from this carapace exists, it lies with them. I will happily make your case to the Archon. Thank you, Fatebinder. His salute rings like a poorly cast bell. I eagerly await the Archon's judgment. Why didn't we get that before? Oh, that's weird. Okay, I guess we're gonna have to go back. The spire allows for such a long and uninterrupted view. Baric glances over the edge with hesitation and then shivers. I find restraint and limitations more to my liking, though it is nice to feel a breeze running through these plates of solid rust.
Fatebinder, I'm a little busy right now. Couldn't you find someone else to babysit your curiosity?
Grunting, Baric is focused on bending down, a sharp point protruding from his armor. With a sigh, he relents and glares at you.
What can I do for you?
More about you. Seem like more a cable fighter. It's not letting me do the dialogue with him and, what's her name? But you know what, now that I think about it, maybe I have to, I have to have him face Tunon first before we can get to that point. A burly smith draws his arm across his brow and nods to you. Kenrick, smelter. Not quite a master, but you know, getting there. I've never worked this high up before. He shrugs. First time for everything. Let's put you to work making me some weapons, shall we? I am working, Fatebinder, always working. Come back. Come check back later. Are you serious? I thought the smith would be... Well, all right, fine. The fire pit burns with embers that give off an ethereal glow. Look into the flame, you can feel like you see glimpses of distorted faces. How do you... I know there's a way to upgrade weapons and armor. And... Here, hold on. No, not misses. Tears. What's this? Okay, there's... Spire upgrades. He regularly produces weapon and armor. I'm confused. Why? I know that Verse needs better gear. Or, well, she needs to be able to upgrade the... you have something ready for me? I'm working. I thought I was going to be able to buy things from him. A merchant with a motley collection of items for sale. And he'll create camping supplies. A skilled trainer, scavenger sells for items for sale. Chains with skills, conquest. A swindler is able to acquire valuable items left unattended. Okay, you know what? A merchant with a motley collection of items for sale. You know what? I guess maybe we'll hire you then so we can start selling some of the stuff that we have. He'll appear the next time you travel to a device. You know what? This works. I'm going to
Fatebinder, I'm a little bit... What can I do? If you would have...
We'll suit him
I'll tack homeward. See you there.
And we'll head back to Tunon. And then we will go to... and then we'll come back. All right. And the most heroic character. He's his self-insert and says so himself in the letter series. Oh wow. Akira is basically an anime manga version of Tolkien. Overall series. Sam Gamgee as Reach of East was he self-insert and a legit character. Makes random weapons over time. Need to be another guy to buy and sell. You need a second spire with the Forge upgrade. Oh, so for now I need to go ahead and upgrade our weapons then, because these daggers are not hitting anymore for sure. All right, let's Kasarm really beat all of
No, Dad.
Faye Binder, you look as if you require my counsel. What do you wish to know? I have a request from Baric of the Stone Shields. And what does Baric of the Stone Shields want of the court? He has made his displeasure known in a loud enough voice to collapse the tears upon each other. The adjudicator glares down at Baric. He came to inquire if the Forge Bound could help remove his armor. If he has become encased in iron, that is none of the court's concern. My forge-bound smiths are occupied crafting weapons for the army, and I would not have their focus diverted to liberate one soldier from his raiment. Stone Shield, do the disfavored not have standards for the upkeep of arms and armor? Is this not one of your Archon's guiding principles? It is, Your Honor, but I found myself trapped in this junk pile after the Edict of Storms hit Stalwart. If you want to blame anyone, it should be Kairos? You actually think that makes sense to say? Holy smokes! The adjudicator contemplates the matter in total silence. The moment drags on far longer than you would have suspected warrants, but Tunon's interest does not abate for a moment. The soldier will remain encased in his armor, eccentric though it may be, and all subjects of Kairos are forbidden to aid in its removal. Magic, the likes of which none of us understand, has touched the stone shield, and we will not interfere with the will of Kairos. But I'm trapped. Baric trails off, looking to you for answers. Say nothing. Such is the will of Kairos, and the will of the court. Tunon nods and bangs his gavel. Ack! You tried, and I suppose that counts for something. The adjudicator didn't say anything about me bending my way out of here, at least. Not that trying has ever made it better. All right, no more questions. Then be on your way. And speak with Baric. All right. We'll save here. Only the slightest nod of Baric's domed helm offers any indication that the soldier noticed your approach. It shouldn't surprise you that Archon Tunon would not unmake what was wrought by the Overlord's wrath. Surprise? No. Disappoint? Yes. The Archon's decision changes nothing. I have preserved to this point. I shall continue to do so, for the sake of General Ash in the north. That sounds very convincing. He stares at you, saying nothing. There may be another way. Your master was very specific in his sentence. He forbade not only assistance from the Forge Bound, but from anyone, anywhere in the world. No, the Archon forbade any subject of Kairos to aid you. You split hairs, Binder. The whole of the world bends to the knee of the Overlord. If that were the case, we wouldn't be in the tiers, would we? You're not suggesting we ask some renegade mage for aid. You would discard the spirit of the law in favor of its letter? Trust me, Baric. It's the letter of the law that matters. Not to me. The honor of a deed lies as much in its spirit as its action. Oh, you sweet, sad, silly little boy. Why do Baric and Verse have these red backgrounds now? I thought red was for Rav. And it makes sense for him, but why does Verse have Rav? Perhaps some other way to free you will present itself. Your optimism does you credit, Fatebinder, though I feared misplaced. Lord, the Forge Bound will be curious about you regardless. The articulation on your armor is incredible. At the very least, we should let them take a look at you. My armor is unique. Perhaps it can teach them something that will aid the disfavored. We can find the Forge Bound at their smithy in Lethian's Crossing. He nods. Let us leave, Fatebinder. I worry that my presence offends these nobles' precious sensibilities. He bows his head to you and moves away, trailing behind him the wafting reek of a fetid privy. Good Lord. Lord, Lord. All right. Let's go back and back to the mountain spire. The weight of Aegis. Addendum added. An abrupt storm drives you into the shelter of a public house built under a colossal stone overhead. Travelers from across the tiers share the space with you, rarely crying one another in near silence until a thin stew and thinner ale loosens the lips of the gathered. A wiry woman with midnight skin sets a large gourd on a stone near the back of the cave. She challenges you to a game of daggers in which players compete to throw identical knives at a target. The person who hits nearest center in 3 tries wins. The purse, she states, will be 20 copper rings. Athletics, play fairly, cheat, suggest a companion play. I'm going to cheat. You stand and approach the woman, setting down your own twine-bound rings and challenge. The woman grins, turns, and hurls her first knife, beginning the game. She seems quite competent with her hurled blade, so when a dropped clay mug briefly steals her attention, you slip one of the daggers you threw from its position, sliding it into the gourd significantly closer to center. Your deft hands draw no attention to your deceit. After the round, the woman offers you a few rings and offers to buy your next drink. Excellent. Now y'all actually power scaling Lord of the Rings characters. Yeah, you'll never know what you'll see in a slander chat. They also saw the light of 2 trees described as more powerful and full of grace than other younger elves that came after the 2 trees died and were carried in the sky by Tomb Mayor. I'm here for it. Me too, Gifu. I don't know enough about the lore to competently contribute to the conversation, but I'll watch earnestly. If you had to pick one to get rid of forever to save the world, would you pick all the Mass Effects or all the Dragon Ages to cease to exist? Dragon Ages. I like Mass Effect more than Dragon Age. Like, I feel like Dragon Age has had a bigger like down moment than Mass Effect. Like, I didn't like Andromeda, but Andromeda came after the main trilogy. I thought the main trilogy was fantastic, whereas Dragon Age 2 was a huge disappointment for me. And while Inquisition has a special place in my heart, and I really enjoy a lot of it, and it was a good enough setup for Inquisition, I'm really looking forward to Inquisition. There's some MMO almost elements of Inquisition that are really a huge turnoff for me. Whereas pretty much other than the ending of Mass Effect 3, Mass Effect has always done right by me. Like, I'm really a big fan of that series. All right, let's talk to you.
What is it you need? Of course.
To the party.
Be seeing your fate by
there.
now.
And set that. And then let's talk to you. Do you have something ready? Let me show you what I have already. This does. Ooh, wait, no, that is useful for one person. Wait, who's this? Bear? Oh, that's Baric. I just got rid of
You look as if you have something on your mind. What can I do for you? If you would
suit up.
I'll tack homeward.
Because
See you there.
I think I need to have you in the party to mess with your gear, right? I think that's the way that it works. Yeah. So here, well, oh wait, and you got a lot of stuff on your person. Let's get all this off of you. What's that about? Yeah, get all this off your person. Come on now. What's that? Let's just scroll, okay. That's fine, that's fine, this is fine, this is fine. And then here, let's look at this. And then where's that now? Is this better? What? But it has devastating. On weapon crit, full target push, and it's an interrupt. So, and less DPS, more recovery. It's got a little more armor penetration and a weaker accuracy. So yeah, that's not gonna. Okay, fine. Here's what it is. I got you. Mass Effect 1 through 3 is more consistent than Dragon Age 1 through 3.
Of course.
Exactly. That's exactly the way I feel about
be
it.
seeing you
No doubt
fate by
this'll
now.
prove
If I had to
interesting.
choose, I'd stick with Mass Effect. Who is the best squad mate in Mass Effect? Across, I think it kind of depends on the game. I think different games have a different best squad mate. I think that hold the line guy was OP. Who's the hold the line guy? Salandrian, Morden. Morden was pretty amazing, right? So, but he's only available in Mass Effect 2. My guy Thane was a real one. I love Thane from a personality standpoint, but mechanically, I didn't feel like he was as impressive as some of the other options. Okay, Slander, which companion out of Liara, Tali, and Rex would you pick to die if the game forced you to? Out of the three of them, I'm probably Liara. Liara is probably the one I feel the least strong about of the three of those. Because especially because Tali and Rex are leaders amongst their people. So you're not just killing them. Like you can make the case that the Krogan in general are going to be significantly worse off if Rex is dead. Same with the Quarians if Tali's dead. But if Liara's dead, the Asari will go on chugging along just fine. Oh, Miranda's your favorite one? Yeah, she was fantastic. When I replayed Legendary Edition, I found Liara's dialogue and one extremely cringy, which is why I don't like Liara as a romance option as much as Ashley. I definitely felt that way the first time I played Mass Effect. And so even though Liara gets significantly better in Mass Effect 2 and 3, Liara and Tali both are kind of, the way they start out in Mass Effect 1 colors how I feel about romancing them in later games. But you can make the case that Liara is essentially the pillar character of the Mass Effect series, especially since they're bringing her into Mass Effect 5. And I'm pretty sure there's some content where you hear her voice in Mass Effect Andromeda. Best squad mate was Garrus all three games. I love Garrus' personality, but mechanically, I wasn't really all that high on him. Liara isn't dead. We are not a mistake. Yeah, absolutely. We are Legion for We Are Ability is chilling. Mass Effect 2 is top 5 game all time. It's got to be up there. The message chick? What do you mean, Sunset? Who are you referring to? I don't think any romance option in ME1 is good. It's hard for me. I feel like my perspective on it is colored because I've played through the whole series now. I felt like the ending for Liara was probably the strongest ending out of all the romance available. But yeah, none of them felt that strong. But it was like it felt strong because you knew you were going to carry it into the future games. And I definitely feel like by the end of Mass Effect 3, all of the romance that you could have in Mass Effect 1 could be really strong. Well, except Caden. I can't comment on Caden because I could never go through a whole series with him. All right, Fatebinder, come take a look. The Dirt Cake Apex local gestures to an old box at his feet. I've got a Beastman cub in here. Take a look. I doubt that very much. You step up to the huckster and peer down into the box. It's full of assorted junk, nothing more. Before you can comment, you notice him reaching for your ring belt out of the corner of your eye. Slap him. You don't reach for my ring belt. He flinches and withdraws his hand with a hurt look. Sorry about that, Fatebinder. Old habits, you know. I was only curious how much you were carrying. A merchant needs to be aware of these things before he can charge an appropriate cost, eh? Revos at your service. I've come into possession of some items that might be of interest. He waggles his eyebrows. Do you see how high up we are? You know, he doesn't realize I've already kicked one person off the top of this spire and that I would have no issue whatsoever kicking another one. Are these stolen? At first, he seems about ready to spout off a hasty answer, but he pauses and reconsiders. No, in the sense that they are stolen, but yes, in the sense that I'm not entirely, he calls it to his fist, licensed. But wait, he puts his hands up. Before you throw me into Tunon's dungeon, or worse, consider this. He spreads his arms and turns in a circle. We aren't standing on Terratus. We're standing high above any citizen who is subject to the Overlord's law. And this place couldn't possibly be subject to the same rules that govern down there. He stamps his foot and points to the land below. Don't presume to understand Kairos' will. I need to consider the legalities. In the meantime, I'll take a look at your goods. Ooh. Look at that. All right. And scroll ingot. Is the scroll helpful in some sort of way? Maybe. All right. Okay. We don't need the shield. Let's start with Do any of these help? You want this? Joker does not have enough lore, but hold on. All right, yep, we can use that. We can use this. You already know this sigil. We need this sigil. Okay. Now, let's go. Let's go. And yep, let's go. All right, this is already manageable. What is this? This is armor, heavy armor. Whoops. Light cloth. Yep, we don't need that. Don't need. Is this heavy armor? These two are heavy armor. This is heavy armor. I know that's heavy armor. This is heavy armor. What's this? Heavy cloth sandals. We got to take a look at that. This is heavy armor. Scholar's gloves. Pretty sure we can get rid of that. Heavy armor. What's this? Light armor. We need to check on that. Heavy armor again. Heavy armor. The bindings of shadows cannot be removed. Bindings of shadows, that's heavy armor. Okay, we can deal with that later. And light armor. Don't want to get rid of any of that. This item, I don't know if I can actually sell these without it being a problem. So we'll hold on to that for now. And then, we're gonna go ahead and sell that, sell that, and sell that. Okay. And so let's see. Sigil of material force expression, sigil of directive force, sigil of phasing. Okay. What's this? So light armor cloth, or we can go with what's this? Straight up light armor leather. And yeah, this stuff is definitely better than what I have. I really need the guy's gonna let me respect, but maybe I go ahead and decide we're gonna hold off on that. Okay. You are the one I need to be concerned with. Does this help you? This does help you. Faebinder Tunon's light armor. Yep. You're helped by this as well. Faebinder, wait a minute. Why is it? This is light armor leather, 1% deflection, 1% precision. Leather superior. Okay, I don't know why there are two sets of them, but okay. The skeleton one that feeds your fish? Yes, she is. I bring myself to romance either Tylee or Garrus, knowing they get together in 3. Oh, that's right. They do get together. I forgot about that. As it gets with Vegas at 3 too. Yep. Yeah, one night stand. Yeah, but I don't give a fuck about Ashley. What's going on, Awaken? How are you? I romance Ashley in Mass Effect 1, but not romancing her in Mass Effect 2. Usually, I like Ashley for a Renegade playthrough. I romance her 1, then I switch to Miranda for 2, and then I switch back to Ashley for 3. Anyone else think Shepard's story kind of sucked compared to his companion? Like, I'm mostly invested in Tylee getting her homeworld, not so much saving the galaxy. Yeah, I could see that. Although, you could say that if you're romancing her, you're kind of part of that story anyway, right? All right, head, gloves, yeah, 3 disengagement defense. We'll go ahead and get the boots. And then light cloth. No, we don't need cloth. There we go. Light leather. Faebinder Tunon 2, 4, 1. Okay, so it's all the same stuff. So I think this is just about the way that it looks. And we'll take this. Okay, cool. And that's it. That's it, I believe. Yep, we'll chill at that. Trade. Yep, alright. We'll go with you. Wait, no. And you. Come on. There we go. Learn that. Learn that. Learn that. And then you. You. Excellent. And then we'll come back over to you. He can make things? Yes. You want something from me? He folds his arm impatiently. Have you made anything lately? Nothing at the moment, but stop by later. All right. Show me what you have for sale. Her sale, 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 sale. And then trade. And then considering that, let's go with armor. I could, let's see. Oh, that's right, I forgot. She needs armor too, right? She's got light armor cloth. Okay. She's got light armor cloth. So let's say we can at least get you a headpiece so that you have all of it. Here you go. We'll get that, and then that's about as good as we can do for you. There we go. All right. And that's all she wrote. I don't think we need to be rested, right? Nope, we're all good. We're already rested. So now... Yep, okay, so we are officially in Act 2, by the way. Excellent. All right, now it is finally time to head on. And I guess we might as well start up here. So we've been to both of these. So we have this to go to and this to go to. So yeah, we'll head over here first. I'm interested in what... Oh, so this is Lethian's Crossing. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, so wait a minute. This is where Baric needs to go, right? Isn't Baric's quest and Lethian's Crossing? The weight of Aegis. Enlist the aid of the Kairos Forge Bound. With wealth and influence, you may be hire a local smith and provide them with a forge in which to work. An awakened spire might make the perfect location for a smithy. Oh, okay. So I don't need to bring him with me then. Stirring visions. You have access to Haven. The region spires attached to the old walls. Travel there and find a way to access spire. Path to power. The Archon Shadow is apparently a fan of your work and wish to help you further your ascension. Oh, he was speak you. Oh, I'm supposed to speak with Bled and Mark at Ashfield. Oh, okay, you know what? Let's go to Ashfield real quick and see what that's about. Yeah. I take me, but Garrus is not even close to Rex. What? How you figure? Watch out, the Garrus bandwagons will find you. Let them. Rex clears. Grunt. Border line is better. What do you dislike so much about Garrus? Okay. Good Lord. I should have saved, but oh well. Lines of color emerge from the darkness. What at first appears a vaguely human stain coalesces into focus. Bled and Mark, Archon Shadow, emerges from his medium. Long strands of white hair crown his head, trailing down to his shoulder blades, where the white hair loses shape and definition, becoming a shadowy mist. His red face paint and orange tattoos are the sole patches of warm color on his otherwise dark ebony skin.
Oh shit, Tunon's headsman. I don't know what reckoning he brings, but I want no part of it.
Verse snaps into a defensive posture.
Fatebinder, how good of you to finally show up. I'd also say it's good to see you again, but I prefer to lie by omission.
I didn't remember him having a voice. That's cool. The Archon clears his throat, folding his arms across his chest with his hands resting above the bandolier of knives girded across his midsection.
Think before you speak next. I'd hate to have to kill you.
I got your message.
I saw what you did at Ascension Hall. You were right to take matters into your own hands. I can't believe the audacity of Ash and Nerat, squabbling while an edict looms overhead, endangering all their vassals. You were right to treat such infantile antics with justice, raw and bloody. From where I stand, I would say you chose wisely. Why cater to the whims and agendas of questionable friends? Why whore your power for the approval of others? Allies are just enemies with great patience. Free yourself of such distractions and make your own way.
So what are you suggesting I do next?
If you really want your freedom from Tunon and the others, you'll need to become something the Archons cannot obliterate without breaking a sweat. There are a few relics around the tiers that, if they wound up in your hands, might give you a fighting chance. The Burning Library holds a very important treasure, the Silent Archive. There's much the sages do not know, but all that they know should be contained within the archive. Retrieve it, and in so doing, end the Edict of Fire.
How does one break the Edict of Fire?
The Edict of Fire will burn so long as the sage's forbidden lore remains within the library. To fulfill the edict, I suggest disposing of any sages still in the library and removing any books filled with teachings contrary to Kairos. This no doubt includes the Silent Archive.
You know what? I might have to reload, but I'm going to try this anyway. Subterfuge. You're telling me to go grab a book full of criminal teachings? Think I'll fall for that setup?
Can't fault you for being suspicious. You'll need that skill if you want to live. And yes, I'm telling you to go nab a relic filled with heretical lore. I didn't say brag to Tunon about it. And if I wanted to trick you into holding incriminating evidence, I can think of easier ways.
Why should I break the edict?
Why? Because Kairos worded the edict to be broken, and others will fear and respect you for being the one to make it happen.
I assume the Silent Archive is a book or scroll of some sort?
I would guess as much. I have not seen it with my own eyes, only heard tell, whispered with reverence. For all I know, it's a singing stone or an arcane quill, but knowing the sages, a book is the best guess.
And don't think you're simply going to saunter into the library, walk up to the archive and take it. If it were that easy, someone would have already done it. The sages love making things difficult. The archive is said to be hidden behind a barricade made from arcane energy. Only someone with knowledge of the passcode can get through it. I don't know about you, but I'm fresh out of spare passcodes. Fortunately for you, the sages can be as dumb as they are infuriating. They supposedly left parts of the passcode around the library. If you were to find all of them, you could use that to get past the barricade. Unfortunately for you, I have no clue where they are, so I hope you like sifting through soot and burnt parchment, because you're about to get your fill. And after that...
Assuming you don't get yourself charred to a crisp, meet me here again after, and we'll discuss what comes next.
Wait, I have questions. Well, make it quick. What do you want to know? What do you gain from the Edict of Fire ending? Nothing, aside from confirmation I can trust you with difficult tasks. If that's what you want to believe, of course. He grins. You've known me for decades and you don't trust me? Do I look like an idiot? I've known the voices of Nerat for centuries, but I know better than to trust him. So you're just sending me into a fiery death trap to call me if I'm useless? Yes, actually, that's entirely what I'm doing. I need to test your mettle before I know what I can and can't trust you to do. A lot of fire in that library. Probably not a lot of shadows for you to use either. The Archon Shadow clears his throat with a grimace. Well, yes. Aren't you observant? The burning library is not the sort of place where my gifts can be used to their fullest advantage. Enough questions for now. The Archon dissolves into the shadows. Ah, damn. If I had known I had to be more selective with my my questions, I would have been more selective. I don't know. I just remember her being pissy about basically everyone, whether it's Garrus, Liara, or whoever else. Just a non-stop whiny religious nutcase. I left her a very boring man, Caden, whose name I forget if I could. See, I enjoyed Ashley, but so many people have your same perspective. Caden is definitely forgettable, but no, I always take Ashley with me. So let himself be saved by Emily, by Shepard. Rex stands for what he believes in. You obey Shepard up over the curse. He's so good. Like, I understood his anger and sadness because this was a chance to save his race, but over time it would have damned them. Humans are our number one priority and assumes other aliens view their own species the same way. Yep. People accuse her of being xenophobic or aggressively xenophobic, but I agree, it's not really true. Kind of like Sela, I guess. They're your ultra low with you through thick and thin. To me, Garrus is the ultimate bromance. Ultimate. And Rex, I don't see how you could put Rex over Garrus when he's not even with you in Mass Effect 2. So he has significantly less content than Garrus gets. So you and I, meaning chat, do you think that Highlander is Joker reincarnate? This is an excellent question. I would say Highlander is a different character entirely. Usually if I'm playing Highlander, I'm probably going to play like a more honorable character. It's more passive aggressive. Hey, somebody send me a missive. Who's this? Things fall apart. Fate Binder, I have received word that your former allies have rescinded your welcome among their camps. Accusations of treachery and sedition hound you. I receive daily demands that I hold you accountable with a public trial and execution. I have assured all that I would investigate these claims thoroughly. Be warned that we all inevitably answer for our choices. You are no exception. In the meantime, I understand that Bloodmark has taken particular interest in you. I trust there is no need to illustrate the implications of his attention. Tunon the Adjudicator, Archon of Justice. And I have no way to reply. Woo! Alright. Here's what it is. Disturbing. Hey, what's this red thing? Edict of Fire. Negative 15 all magic skills, but plus 15 to control fire, huh? The fire that emanates from the tree creates long dancing shadows that stretch across the scorched earth. If you look hard enough, you can see the shadows pulse occasionally, as if they have a life of their own.
No dice.
Alright, let me search around here and see if there's any hidden items or anything that I can get.
Would you take a look at that?
Love it when you reward me for searching around.
Not happening.
All right. Looks like we can go ahead and go. And we're gonna go to the library second, because I'm pretty sure that there might be shops and things like that at Lethian's Crossing, so I want to know what I might want to be able to pick up. Ambush. A group of mercenaries, members of the Bronze Brotherhood, are blocking the road to Lethian's Crossing. Why did I not say before I went over here? Oh well. I'm biased to Rex, and you could put Rex not being there when he's looking after his people as a reason for him not being as good as Garrus, in my opinion, at least. But as I said, I only just finished ME1, so my opinion may change. Oh yeah, of course you're gonna have this high opinion of Rex after Mass Effect 1, but play through Mass Effect 2, all the way through Mass Effect 2, and have Garrus in your party, so you see all of Garrus's content, and then compare how he and Rex shape out. Mind you, I think Rex is absolutely fantastic. I'm a big fan of him, but I don't think it's like automatic that he's better than Garrus. Oh, so these people are not hostile toward me. Cool. Ooh, more sigils. I can't talk to you. I can't talk to you. I can talk to you. A tall woman stands here, surveying the area from a small overlook. She glances at you and immediately goes back to watching her surroundings. Welcome to Ironhall Trail, Fate Binder of Tunon. She salutes you. My name is Welby, First Axe of the Bronze Brotherhood, though I'm not sure that title matters anymore. She pauses to gather her thoughts, then opens her mouth to continue. Instead, she exhales slowly and shakes her head. Never mind, you needn't be bothered with my problems. While I appreciate you coming to me before speaking to Retamon, you will need to be careful. He has, of late, been acting out of sorts, and any perceived slight can become a problem for the one who offends him. Choose your words with him carefully. What can I help you with? How could talking to you offend Retamon? You choose to speak to the First Axe before speaking to the actual First Brother, the bodyguard before the leader. How could this mean anything but collusion and treason? I know I speak out of turn, but I only wish to warn you. Tread lightly around Retamon. Tell me about the Bronze Brotherhood. Welby laughs a little. We're mercenaries, plain and simple. I'm not going to pretend like it's anything more. While it's true we have in recent years been a little more stationary than your typical crew, it doesn't change the fact that our services can be purchased if the price is right. The Voices made an offer to assure our cooperation, and we took it. If I had known Kairos would try to have us thrown out of our home afterward, well, I probably would have still taken the rings, but I would have been a little more prepared for the inevitable conflict. Retamon will try to sell you on our long and noble traditions, like we're some kind of altruistic saints who could do no wrong, but the story is as old and smelly as Grandma Beastman's tail hairs. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to take a job that doesn't seem right to me, but a ring's a ring, and I will go where the money leads me. One point Retamon and I will agree on is this. We did a job for Kairos, but we were not treated fairly. The Brotherhood is strong, and we have the numbers. We will fight to the last man. I just don't agree with Retamon's methods. What did it mean to be First Axe? She sighs. I wish I knew, Fatebinder. The First Axe protects and consults with the First Brother. I am supposed to be Ratoman's advisor, confidant, and guard. Lately, his behavior has become erratic. He's acting paranoid, manic, and distrustful. My duty as First Axe is to protect the First Brother, but I am also sworn to protect the Brotherhood, and if that means the removal of Ratoman, so be it. He has too many supporters in Lethian's Crossing right now to speak out against him. What do you think has happened to Ratoman? Honestly, I couldn't speak to the cause. The stress of leadership, the battles with Kairos' forces, his night in the old walls, Welby shrugs. Does it matter? His behavior is endangering the Brotherhood, and he must be stopped before we are destroyed. I fear people will be hurt by far more than a simple toll. She points south. He is over there searching corpses, looking for information I know he is not going to find. He ambushed a patrol. He's going to anger an Archon. And for what? His pride? How would you run the Brotherhood? I wouldn't waste time and resources on petty vendettas. That much I can tell you. I like battle and I like rings. And with the Brotherhood, we used to get both regularly. Now all we have is fear, suspicion, and blood. I want the disciplined regiment back, and I intend to have it. While I may agree that we were treated unjustly, Ratoman's methods for obtaining restitution are despicable. True. Acting like a child when you don't get what you want is not the behavior of a leader. Except in this case, the child is in control of an army capable of laying waste to his home. Let me ask you something else. And leave. Welby nods. By your leave, Fatebinder, and be careful. We're at Tunon talk. I immediately think of the newspeak word duck speak. Garrus works with my boys in one, so Garrus will be in my party in two at all times. He's the homie. Yep. I recommend keeping him in your party the whole game, to be honest. I'm seeing you around 28 minutes in the past, but I'm speaking to you in the present. Strange, isn't it? Nice. Time to start Mass Effect 2. Much love to everyone here. Awesome. Have fun, Elric. It's a fantastic game. In fact, some people would probably say that it's the best in the series. Aston Will. You must be joking. Demanding a toll? I will pay no such thing. I demand to be let through. A small figure stands before you. A small figure stands before some armor-clad soldiers. His arms move wildly as he gestures in frustration, yelling at the man directly in front of him. Absolutely not. I've come through Iron Hand Trail more times than I can remember. No one ever asked for a toll before, and I won't be paying one now. He notices you standing nearby and turns to speak. Fatebinder, surely you of all people can help me. My name is Aster, and I must get to Lethian's Crossing. I have goods to deliver. Tell this man I will not be paying a toll to him or anyone, and he is to let me through. He folds his arms over his chest and nods with a pronounced finality. Greetings, Fatebinder. I am sorry you have been drawn into this. What you stumbled into here is merely a conflict of the changing times. I am Will of the Bronze Brotherhood. Ironhall Trail is under our protection, and anyone passing through must obey our rules. If this gentleman would like to pass through our land, a simple donation is required. He holds out his hand. These funds help our cause and keep Ironhall a safe place for all travelers. Clearly, you both can see the value in that. Aster speaks, his arms swinging about again, emphasizing his words. And who exactly is keeping it safe? You standing there with your weapons at the ready against me? The arms drop and he turns to you again. I'm not a traveling merchant. I have no money to spare, and I certainly pose no threat to anyone. Keep this area safe indeed. He points at Will. You are the only threat here. Fatebinder, please, talk some sense into this man. Address Aster. Just because you passed through before means nothing. Pay the toll now or head back. You try my patience. Aster fumes for a few moments, his mouth comically opening and closing in rage. I cannot abide this level of absurdity. He rifles through his belongings and pulls out some rings, slamming them down into Will's outstretched hand. Fine. Here's your toll, thief. Now get out of my way. He turns to you, a look of distaste on his face. I will not forget your help, Fatebinder. Will smiles and puts the rings in a pouch hanging from his neck. I knew you'd see it my way, Fatebinder. He makes an exaggerated flourish and moves out of Ash's way. And you, my good merchant, thank you for your gracious payment. You may pass. All right, you know, I want to check something, though. Because I'm confused. Is this Will just being a thief and trying to extort him? Or is the Brotherhood...
I'm on it.
I thought this was like the Brotherhood's business or something. Let's see. Let's see what happens if I tell Will to back down. Address Will. This man will not be paying a toll today. Call your guards off and allow us passage immediately. Oh, so yeah, this is not a Brotherhood thing. This must be him individually. Thank you, Fate Binder. You have done a great deal of good today. Aster bows dramatically. He turns back to the soldier. And you, brute, move aside and let me pass. Will holds his position and gives you a meaningful look. Perhaps you want to reconsider your stance on the matter, Fate Binder. He plants his hammer on the ground and leans on it, staring Aster down. Passage is bought with rings or blood, but I'll happily take both. I stand by my decision. Aster raises his hand in protest. I thank you for your efforts, Fate Binder, but it's not worth bloodshed. I will leave in peace. Will returns to his position and looks you over, his former genial mood gone. So, a Fate Binder in our little corner of the world. Who'd have ever thought this would happen? He spits between his feet, then crushes it into the dirt with his boot. You are walking a dangerous line, Fate Binder. The Bronze Brotherhood never backs down from threats. He paused for a moment, sizing you up. Normally, I'd knock you down when you stand for threatening me, but Ratoman demanded to see you if you came through here. I thought it was crazy saying you'd be visiting Lethian's crossing. Looks like I owe him a few rings. He shakes the pouch around his neck, making the rings jingle melodically. Not that there's a shortage of those out here. What can this humble servant of the Brotherhood do for you, Fate Binder? And don't ask me to let you through, because that isn't happening. Someone made the mistake of giving this little man too much power, and he's about to discover what happens when you stand in my way. If you think you can get him to move, do it. With pleasure. Hey, shit me. Do you plan on moving your ass this century, or do we have to stand here jawing like a bunch of graybeards? We're on a mission, and staring at your ugly mug and catching up on the past won't get it done any faster. Are you going to move on, or do I need to start cutting? Because I'm partial to either option. The mercenary's mouth hangs open in disbelief. He swallows and attempts to gather his pride. I would help you, but my boss told me to guard this bridge. No one gets by without Ratoman's permission. Oh, Kyra's giving strength. Okay, so now I'm drawing the rat. So interesting. They don't care about the toll, but they do care about protecting the bridge. Okay, let's go talk to Ratoman first. As much as I love playing Wizard, I've come to the realization that paladins are my favorite sort of characters to play nowadays, especially lawful evil ones like Bleak Walkers. Yep, paladins are a ton of fun in Pillars of Eternity. Just tell y'all my thoughts when I'm done with it. Looking forward to it, Elric. All right, most of the way to 7 a.m. Probably time to go to bed. Yep, take care, Cosmic. Have a good one. You going to run with Kills the Shadow? I haven't decided yet. I might. I think it'd be nice to have another frontliner, and she's right in line with the type of character I'm playing. Rex is the goodest boy. The only aggressive action I took in Pillars of Eternity was storyline with the uncle.
Just
and
point me in the right direction.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, that was brutal. Oh, he killed a bunch of disfavored? That's kind of wild. Wow, he looks super skinny and wiry. A striking man with a shock of bright blonde hair stands here, observing some men searching bodies of slain disfavored soldiers. He watches you approach, his angular features pulling into a look of disdain. And here's the Fate Binder. He doesn't mask the displeasure in his voice. I knew we see you. I was just wondering when. What brings you out here when no one asked you to come? Are Kairos' dogs ready to be put down again? I won't surrender the crossing, no matter how many times you try to take it. We were hired to protect this city, and we will continue to do so. No one else will have it. He glances at his men, who have stopped to watch the conversation. With a start, they return to searching the bodies. Never mind, he waves a hand dismissively. I don't care why you're here. My name is Ratoman. I am leader of the Bronze Brotherhood. Speaking of which, what did Welby have to say? He looks north where Welby stands, watching Broth intently. Has she already started filling your mind with lies about me? She and I are going to have a chat soon. I can't have my Furxax countermanding me at every turn. I know she wants my position. Watch yourself while you're a guest in my land. If you have come to stir up more trouble, we are well equipped and will not back down in the defense of what is rightfully ours. He sweeps his arm in front of him, gesturing to the surrounding countryside. Welby and I might not always agree, but that is one point we see eye to eye on. If you step out of line, we will both correct you. His eyes narrow and he leans toward you. You are not welcome here. Now tell me what you want, or leave. You would do well to watch your tone when speaking to a fate binder. Ratoman laughs hollowly. I care not about Kairos' forces. We rebuffed their feeble attempt to remove us from our rightful home once already. I am more than happy to try again. You will find I do not cower when you raise your voice against me, lapdog. Tell me about the Bronze Brotherhood. We are a humble group with noble, long-held traditions on the side of right and honor. Ratoman's voice fills with pride. If there is an injustice that needs to be rectified, we are called. Say you're hired mercenaries. Ratoman's face takes on a sour expression. If you want to be crass, then yes, people pay for our services, but it's hardly the reason we do what we do. Relax. There's no shame in doing what you do well for a decent wage. But claiming you're doing the work of the righteous when you're just selling your brawn makes you sound like a brigand or a conqueror. Those are quite arrogant words from a man who belongs to a group that takes knowledge and hides it from the world. Your opinion in this matter means nothing to me. Tell me about Welby. He shoots a look to the north. I had such high hopes for her as my first acts. The continued success of the Brotherhood should be the single most important goal for anyone who is a member. She seems to have forgotten her place. She is not the head of this band. I am. If she doesn't stop overreaching, I'll have to replace her with someone who knows how to obey. Why is Lethian's crossing so important to the Bronze Brotherhood? We were asked to do a job and we did it. Then what happens? Kairos attempts to eject us from our home. He makes an emphatic gesture to the north toward Lethian's crossing. By all rights, that city is ours, and suddenly Kairos wants it? Well, I intend to keep it. I refuse to leave. We've protected the crossing for years and even ensured Kairos' forces could do business here when Nerat asked us to. No, we did the job we were asked, and this land belongs to us. You say you don't do it for the money, but that's why you're fighting over Lethian's crossing. I don't appreciate your tone or the implications of what you're saying, Fate Binder. Ratoma's eyes are hard and his voice is flat. This is a matter of principle. We performed a service and we were paid for that service. Don't try to glibly explain away a complex situation. This is our home. This is my home. I will have it, no one else. Now, if all you came here to do is insult me and mine, I suggest you leave. What's so important about these bodies? They were undoubtedly scouts sent by Kairos to ascertain our defenses, and where one group is found, many others are sure to follow. We are looking for anything that will help tell us how many there are and where they will strike next. They tried to take Lethian's crossing back already and failed. If the forces are too numerous this time, we might not be able to hold it again. I need to get to Lethian's crossing. Ratoman considers your request for a moment. If I let you through, you must promise to behave. I have enough problems dealing with everyone else. I don't need the hassle of keeping an eye on you too. So watch yourself. This is my city and I have eyes everywhere. If you intend to stir up trouble, go somewhere else. I don't need it here. In fact, I would suggest going elsewhere right now. I might be forgiving of your presence, but word of your recent exploits has reached the crossing, and I won't guarantee your safety once you're inside the city. Someone who isn't too happy with your behavior might have offered a large sum of money for your head. Personally, I don't have time to deal with you right now. I'm far too busy dealing with more pressing issues. But if my men see fit to show you the error of your ways to earn a few rings, so be it. Arbitrarily, attacking your allies has its consequences, Fate Binder. Who put a contract on me? Ratoman stares at you, his eyes narrow. How many people have you fucked over, Fate Binder? I am not in the habit of betraying confidence, so even if there is a contract, and I said maybe, I'm not going to tell you once you're dead. I will reiterate, watch yourself in the crossing. Thanks for the warning. He fires an arrow into the air and then makes a signal by waving his arms in the air in an intricate pattern. You may enter Lethian's crossing. And it's now unlocked to the world map. Not sure the first brother here has a full complement of oarsmen. His henchman is all of 5-6 paces away. Why the theatrics? We can speak again soon. Certainly hope that isn't the case. All right. Dude's talking a big game about nobility while his boy's shaking down merchants he's supposed to protect just 5 feet away. It's protected feet clearly. Talking super reckless. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to deal with him in some sort of way. Sooner or later. All right. Absolutely not. All right. All right. Address Will. Ratoman already gave me permission to pass, and Astra's coming with me. Will's face drops, taking a petulant look as his eyes dart back and forth between the two of you. Finally, he sighs and gestures over his shoulder for you to pass. Fine. He raises an enormous hammer and stops Astra, pressing it against his chest. Though merchant, do be sure to have some rings on you for your trip back. I doubt your friend here will be around to get you through these lands twice. He smiles, moves his hammer, and steps aside. By your leave, Fatebinder. Wow, what a jerk off. All right. Let's go back and talk to First Act, see if she has anything more to say. Now that I've spoken with her head in charge, Fatebinder, your return. What can I? Why are you forcing travelers to pay a toll? Ratoman will say it's because it's what we're due, and part of me is inclined to agree with him. But if I were pressed, I would say his pride is hurt and he's lashing out. He can be such a child sometimes. She looks quickly at her guards. Just watch yourself around him. He hasn't seemed completely in control of his faculties lately. It's frightening to see what we're becoming. That's all for now. Interesting. Okay. And let's see what type of information Will has. You got Ratoman's permission to go, Fatebinder, so go. What? You had a whole list of dialogue the last time I was here. Oh, well. And, yep, this is the right formation, so we'll stick with that. Even though we do need to take another look at our magic. Nah, think about it, but we'll deal with that in just a second. I don't see anything. This map won't go up here. Oh, here we go. And that's a bunch of that stuff. Full. Do I still? Yep, I still have the rush bonus, so I'm good on that. So I'm here. So wait, I'm right here. And what do I just? Oh, okay, cool. Lethian's crossing. Bam! And we have arrived. Bleak Walker all the way. Though I'm not a lawful evil. Yeah, Threed is a big fan of the Bleak Walkers for sure. Although you still never finished a Pillars of Eternity 2 playthrough, did you? Ricoro, what's going on? Yeah, it's going well. I'm having a good evening. Hope you are as well. All right, we might, well, in fact, no, we're most likely going to get into some fights here. So let's make sure. Oh, that's right. I did go back through all of her magic stuff. Ooh, and he's got a couple more slots as well, although I don't know how much. Oh, you've got lore 62. That's not bad. What's this? Accent that greatly increases the damage of spells but harms you when you cast them. No. Accent that causes terrorists and illusion spells to leave the target in a stasis. Can you target them while they're in a stasis though? Probably not. Accent that fuse the element of frost and fire together. Huh. Sigil of emotions. The energies invoked by the sigil of emotions both fortify and undermine the mental humors, creating passions in the target range from apathy to blinding rage. All right, the Blood Chanter. Okay. And then what's this about? Sigil material force expression used to create spells that alter the target's weapon. And directed force expression used to create spells that travel forward in a path affecting multiple targets. Illusion. Directed force. What's this? Frightened and blinded and confused. Frightened, blinded, and confused. 70. And what's this? Is this a cone? Range, length, 12 meters. Why does it say length? Is this a cone? Conjure a wave of illusionary Chaos, 12 meters in front of you. Okay, enemies calling the effect and their worst fears manifested, blinding, confusing, and frightening them. What does confused do? Wander aimlessly. Frightened reduces the will. Blinded, accuracy reduced by 30. This is actually really cool. You need more slots. I thought, hold on, let me check. Grants additional spell slots. Oh, but only to you. For some reason, I thought it granted spell slots to the team. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, we definitely need to respect. So irritating. Okay. So first you've got healing. Let's deal with healing now. Oh, actually, express use to create spells that all targets armor. Right. Create spells that generate an R around a target. Is that R emitted ally? Allied area of effect, right. Just making everybody heal more. 3%. Oh, but that's 120 lore. Yeah, that's not going to work. So many people going for the damage. I played a Khan Wayfarer Moon Godlion, and I was a tank, a healer, and a damage dealer level 1. Nice! Man, I'm thinking of actually restarting, going Bleak Walker and streaming it. Good lord, you're going to restart a game? Well, you know what? It makes sense if you're going to stream it, though. That's different. Gold Pack Paladin is for me. Nice! That's such crap lucky. Like I am the firm belief that a warlike Pillar of Eternity 2, I would become a Bleak Walker. Threed. Come on down. We can reach for something a little bit better. You and those Bleaks. Okay. He's got 85. Yep. Increase the strength. Increase the range. Oh yeah. That's pretty much all you need. And that's the same thing. Oh wait a minute. This is actually less health than what it gets here. So this is 22%, but he's actually got a 33%. Oh, that's because he gets a boost. He gets a boost to control life spells. That's why. So in fact, he would deal a little bit. He would heal a little bit more with this, but I just don't have the slots. Now let's see. Plus 100 dodge until damage for 56 seconds. Let's go to Sigil of Illusion. Which one is it? Not False Pit. There we go. That's Mirror Image. So then, 100. Oh, so now we can do 125 dodge. But it won't allow me to do both. Okay, so no, don't do that. The duration is a little bit more important to me. Actually, how much is that? That's 85. He could do it as an 85 and that hits everybody. Allied area of effect. Ooh, plus 100 dodge, plus 100 parry. Yep, that's the way we're gonna do it. That's better. Now, what's this? Mischievous Mass. All right. I actually like that. Man, I really like the crowd control stuff for him. To be honest, this is appealing to me. So he's got Mirror Image. All right, then Spectral Blur is the other one I want. Oh, that's this one, right? There we go. So if we do Spectral Blur, if we do this, if we increase the range on it, we increase the duration for sure. What's this? Stasis Shield. What does that mean? What does stasis mean? 125 point stasis shield. Does stasis shield mean that they can't move? That cause to leave the target in a stasis. What does the word stasis mean again? A period or state of inactivity. Right. So it basically freezes her. No, we don't want that. We don't want that. Take that off. And we don't need more accuracy to it, actually. So let's see. This is 37.5. This is 37%, 56 seconds, and 4 meters. So, yeah, there's nothing particularly special or better about that. Okay. And then he has he's been using False Pit. But no, we're gonna switch that up. Can we do yeah, we're gonna do Mischievous Mass instead. Because what's False Pit? Which one is the cone? Right, this is the Unrivaled Minds, the cone. That cone is way too short. That's a 5 meter cone. This is 12 meters out in front of them. Hopefully this will be a little bit better, easier to use. In fact, let's see. Can we, so we could increase the duration. Oh, and actually the duration is short, 20 seconds, 10 seconds, interesting. Or we can increase the range. I think we're gonna go for duration. And give that to you. And then, what's this one? Oh, this is mirror image. And then this is Unravel Minds. Is that what this is? False Pit, actually. This is the cone one that I didn't want to use. Right, this is False Pit. It's gonna put prone, but it's putting prone full area of effect. It's putting that affects an area of the spell that it impacts. What is, let's see, hold on. Radius 1 meter. Okay, so this doubles it to 2 meters. This increased the range of it, but it's still raw damage. I don't care about more raw damage. Yeah, the damage is too paltry anyway. Duration though. So this is for 5 seconds. Suspension. Yeah, that's not what we want. So I'm still annoyed that the independent path was very lame. Every faction wanted me to murder a ton of people. By the end, my common warfare would never do that. The only option to avoid that was basically a collection of ship parts. Yep, I agree. To get the most out of the game, you really, really needed to side with a faction, and siding with the faction was absolutely going to be bloody. That's why I specifically mentioned in my review, no matter which faction you side with, you're probably going to feel at least a little bit bad about somebody you're going to have to kill. All right. False Pit lasts for such a short duration of time. I actually kind of don't like it anymore. Mischievous Mass is much better. So, what's this again? What does this let me do? And oh, this lets you like enrage people, huh? Oh, but it's an allied target, increasing health and and recovery is reduced. Interesting. What about this? You can taunt. What's this? Negative 60% move speed, fatigue, and daze affliction in a cone. Quickness reduced. That's interesting. Fear. What's friend do? Will reduce by 30%. No, I'm straight on all that. None of that appeals to me. What's this about? Concussive bolt. A full area of effect. 7 through 13 crush damage. Dazed. What is their recovery increased by 50%? Okay. Oh, that's right. Whoa, wait a minute. So this is 60. What if we make an area of effect 85? Negative 25% recovery time for 45 seconds. Get rid of False Pit. Put that here. I hate that I have no attack spells on him. He really needs more slots. But it just is what it is. Now, actually, I'm not going to put any healing spells on her. We're going to go pure Grave Light on her. Say she'll figure it out. What's this? Vampiric weapon? What is this? Imbue a weapon with grave. Oh, right. Imbues her weapon Grave Light. Now we're good with that. +4 allied area of effect, admitting that. Create an aura of Grave Light that grants allies a bonus to magic defense. But it says it's stolen. So like, is it taking it from other people or what? That seems so odd to me. I'm not sure what's up with that. Terratus Light. What is this one? Grave Grasp, and we've got Phantom Bolt. Okay. Release a burst of, this calls dazed and enemies take arcane damage. while the Bane take greater damage on our days. Okay, so Bane especially don't like this. Oh, but she doesn't have enough lore to even use this. That was the problem before. Okay, fine. All right, so I don't have the ability to use any of these other options. So it just is what it is. Except, is there a different version of this that I can tap on? No, she only has 54 lore. It's kind of annoying. What's atrophy? What's that about? Touch of atrophy. Oh, that's the one that drains certain things from them. Yeah, she's already got what? This is a frost power, right? Rim spike. Let's give her just one more frost power and be done with it. Increase the intensity, increase the range, and increase accuracy. Can we do that? No, we can't. And we can't do that either. You know what? Yeah, we'll just we'll roll with that. She's all offensive, all out offensive. All right. Believe it or not, my Bleak Walker is actually good. It doesn't take contracts of civilians, etc. Is it satisfying to play Bleak Walker in that way? What's going on, Peace Dog? How are you? I think you can get more slots through the leadership tree. Oh, okay. I'll check that in just a moment. All right. So now you've got plus you heal 18. Hold on. I feel like we can do better, right? This is 55. Yep. There's 22. Excellent. And that's pretty much all you need. So apply that. Yep. Now, let's see. That's 80. Yeah, you're not going to be able to do that. You're not going to be able to do that one either. But you can do this one. And let's see. Can we make it more intense? We cannot. Can we increase the range? Yes, we can. Is that what you already have? 3% for 8 meters? Nope. We got 10 meters here. So this is a little bit better. All right. You would never use this for offense. So we can get rid of that. But Sigil of Illusion. This is Spectral Blur. You could actually definitely make use of that. So do that, and then increase the duration. You don't need either one of those. You don't need either one of those either. Bam, that's actually useful for you. Now, this one, that's 30, False Pit. You're not going to be using that. Unravel Minds, you wouldn't use that. Mirror Image, you could just barely make that. So we're going to go ahead, sign that to you. Now you got 2 more options. This adds to you actually, yeah. So Titan's Touch, Vitality, and Might, that could be interesting. Plus 30% damage for 20 seconds. Oh, whoa. Plus 30% damage for 20 seconds, and it's an allied area of effect? Yeah. Why aren't we using that? For sure. Plus 38% damage. Yeah, hold on. Let's get that. And then Champion's Fortune. What's this? 20% armor when under 35% health. Well, hopefully we aren't under 35% health. What's Polish Arms? Plus 5 armor penetrated by attacks for 45 seconds. Huh. That's interesting. Can we up it? No, we can't do it that way. Can't do it that way either, and definitely not gonna work that way. But why not? Why not? Okay, and now everything on his person is actually useful. Now for you, little lady, I already know you definitely need to be able to heal yourself because your stuff just gets whacked instantly. But, oh, okay, so this 18% is as good as it's going to get for you. I almost don't want her to be able to heal herself because she keeps running off and trying to heal other people that she shouldn't be. But I can't leave her without some ability to heal herself when needed. And then what do I want for you? Wait, actually, I can give you the, you know what, no, somebody else handling that, so you can have this one. Give you a little more might. Yeah, sure, that makes a little more sense for you. That's fine. That's a lot of buffs to have to turn on in the beginning, but you know what, we'll work with it, we'll figure it out. Okay, Let's go into Lethian's Crossing. Yeah, it's a whole thing in the lore. Bleakwalkers, while not the best people to become, the individual can choose which contracts to take on. The whole philosophy of the Bleakwalkers is, and it's actually pretty satisfying. Huh, okay. I kind of thought you had to play him as evil in order to get the most out of him. Stop there, Fatebinder. Not another step. You are not welcome in Lethian's Crossing. I'm warning you, we will kill you if you don't turn around. Athletics, intimidate. I suggest you go now before this gets ugly. You really are crazy, aren't you? Maybe all those stories about you are true. I'm not sticking around to find out. The guards turn and run. Pathetic. Defeat the garrison. Interesting. So we're not gonna get a chance, huh? And you, not mirror image. Oh, what's the? Oh, so he can't put Surge of Glory on himself. That's interesting. Oh. Ooh, good lord! What just? That was crazy. Whatever just happened. Boom, no. Oh yeah. Put that on first.
Diddy, you.
Why do I feel like nothing's happening? What's going on? Why aren't y'all? Oh, that's right. Him and Vera are gearing up for this. What is going on? Why? Oh. It's not even fighting anymore. What's the deal? Oh, he's dead. I was looking at verse. Like, maybe there was more going on. Why is there still fighting music though?
Yeah, no.
Sigil of Ruby. I don't see any other people trying to fight, but this music is still on. Game pause. Why is game pause? Oh, here we go. Here we are. Okay. You are not the person who should be in the front. Your day, I actually should have turned on my bus before then, but it's fine. Mirror image, that.
As you command.
This isn't.
Oh, or maybe it's not fine. Whoops.
You got it.
Joker in verse. Yeah. Her. There's this call. What's the per encounter? On the party to go, and while affected, the party's attacks will transfer health from enemies. Yep,
you got it.
A little bit closer. Why doesn't it feel like, there we go. That is affecting her. There we go, you got that. And what does she have right now? She's got mirror image on.
Hey, nobody saw that, right?
There we go. Let's see. Fly of the Grave. Is that the one we were just using? Arcane Missile. We need to redo our heart bar. Heart of the Storm. Here. You know what? Let's try this. We haven't done this yet. In fact, participate in Death from Above. What does Death from Above do again? Allowing her to unleash a serial weller into the target from above. Each of these arrows strikes true and has armor penetration.
You ready for this?
Interesting. Alright, she'll continue attacking you. Is she doing what she's supposed to be doing? Possibly. Is she using all of her powers? It doesn't really feel like she's using all of her powers, to be honest with you. Spectral blur. Do you have spectral blur on? You do not. You. Here, hold on.
I'll take care of it.
Get you over here. I need more bow abilities. Definitely something. Oh, yeah. There we go. There we go. That was very nice. Boom, 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 boom. And then you. Yep. That's excellent. You do that. You know what? Y'all two do this. Boom, boom. Yeah.
You're not going anywhere.
Ooh, you try to run? You frightened, boy? Don't be frightened just yet. Why are you running away? Oh my God, Verse. Why does Verse keep trying to kill people? It is so irritating. All right, frighten works really well. And still that music is on.
Just point me in the right direction.
Dealt with yet.
I'd say that's worth a second glance. No dice.
There's something interesting there. Archon Brown. I'm confused.
No dice.
That's one thing I hate about Pathfinder Rise to Rise. The amount of pre-buffing you have to do is insane. Yep. Her heals are going to fall behind really fast if you're not giving her lore skill enough. You want her to be able to hold out on her own until Landry can heal her in the future. Got you. Got you. I think that's prone 3, 4, 5, and generally the amount of pre-buffing. Yep. That's one of the things I appreciated about Rogue Trader, that you didn't need a buff prior. You could just rush on in. It's all about stacking bonuses. Most bleed walkers are people that have suffered through trauma and given up, but they want to ensure that no one else suffers the same trauma. The number of bullet is crazy the later you get. Okay, I'll keep it in mind. I just boot up Pillars Returning 2, and apparently my last character was a long-range arquebus sniper ranger cipher. Man, I was being weird a year ago. That's awesome. Heck yeah, you need to go to sleep. It is 1:16 a.m. in the morning.
Nice.
I'm close to it, but I want to finish this fight first. And I'm confused. Most merchant tents are a common sight in Lethian Crossing. Oh, that was the camp gear. Maybe I am supposed to go across here? Disable the winch to lower the bridge and gain access to the other side. Is it across the bridge where they are? There we go. It sure is. All right, now let's do this properly this time. Get all my people here. She doesn't do any of that. He will put mirror image on you. Bliss. And he will put all charms on you. Help out with your damage some. And we'll roll in that way. Let's go.
Look at that. Future.
4 of them. Isn't that nice? All right, you. And then you paralyze him. And you, what do you have available? Oh, that's right. You could put on haste. So let's put haste on you. Okay. And you did that. You only have healing available. Actually, we can do this. So let's go ahead and do that. And then what are you doing? Let's go ahead and get some grave light going. Full area of effect. Sounds good to me. You, why didn't you use that yet? You absolutely should have. And you just
Not a
don't know
problem.
what you're doing. You, let's go ahead. What's the problem? Do that on you. What is this again? Oh yeah, Mischievous Mask. Let's try to get that as many people as possible. You still can't do all that much.
By your command.
Bleed out, you little
Ooh, look at that. Yeah, that's working out very
shit.
nice. No. What's this again? Oh, this is Unraveling Minds. Yeah, sure, why not? We'll do that. And he's just attacking right now. Nothing more he can do. He should be still attacking. Both of them should be still attacking. Excellent.
What the fuck is wrong with my weapon?
Yeah,
It'll take more than that.
not doing nearly enough. I need to upgrade her weapons badly. All right, you. Actually, we can try to stun again. So let's do that. How you doing on your buffs? Spectral blur, 25 seconds and whatnot. You're all good. Yeah, he's doing too much standing around. I gotta get this guy more things to do. I gotta get him more things to do. What is this? Watch with judgment. Yeah. This is melee, right? Yeah. You know what? He might need. I wonder if the staff has a range component to it, because that would probably help. Do that. Yep. Oh, they just got through some of her. All right, I don't like that, so let's put that on her. And meanwhile, let's put this on you. Excellent. And then let's finish you off.
See that?
There we go. And even before we could do that, there we are. And then you, nothing more you can do. Spectral blur is not necessary. So we'll just continue.
It'll take more than that.
How we doing? Still nothing you can do. You, come on.
I'll take care of it.
And this guy's just gonna chill in the back, apparently. Alright, and you. Boom, 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 boom. Nothing there. And she needs to get closer. See if we can stun you. Oh, wait a minute. And when she's done. Okay, she's done with that.
Pity you won't enjoy this as much as I do.
Up. Nope. All our buffs are done. So we'll put this on you. And actually, no. He'll put mirror image on you. He will put spectral blur on you. And she never tried
As
to
you command.
Get that shit going. That's not cool. She's alright. She'll do that. Spectral, and he will. There we go. There we go. As the last of the enemy soldiers dies, life returns to normal in Lethian's Crossing. There we go. Not to spill blood, so be it. If you go without sleep for too long, you literally die. Is that right? Well, that's not something I ever want to test out. Ooh, Bronze Brotherhood Warhammer. I wonder if that's better than what's his name has been using.
You got it.
There's a chest there, subterfuge. There we go. Can you take a look at my wares? I will when I come back. All right, y'all. I think it's been long enough. We've had a nice little stream. I plan, time allowing, to be back on tomorrow evening. We didn't get through too much of Tyranny. Ended up being distracted by some other things, but hopefully you all ended up enjoying the stream regardless. Between our discussions about Rap Mount Rushmore and Lord of the Rings power rankings. So anyway, hope you all enjoyed the stream. Hope you all enjoyed the review of Pillars of Eternity from earlier today. Tomorrow I'm going to be dropping a video on, what is that freaking thing called? Sword Haven, Iron Conspiracy. I'm going to drop a video talking about my thoughts on the demo and telling you all about the Kickstarter as well. I think the game looks really, really cool. So definitely check that out. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care. Oh, after a few days of it, you start hallucinating. Yikes! This little stream's been 3 hours. Well, you know, sometimes I go like 5 hours, so 3 is a little to me. Fatal familiar insomnia is incredibly disturbing. Luckily, I don't have that problem. It's easy for me to fall asleep usually. Take care, Benjamin. Have a good one. Take care, 3. Drop that poll so we can vote GDI. I'll keep it in mind. Take care, JV. Appreciate you joining in. Bye, Jovi. Always good to see you. Bye, Gifu. Thanks for joining the stream, dude. Have fun. That's fantastic, dude. Glad to hear it, man. It's just normal insomnia. You can't sleep, and sleeping medications only make it worse. Yikes. Yeah, glad that's something, not something that I've had to deal with. It's actually very easy for me to drop. Take care, abandonment. Have a good one, dude.